Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. We're live for this Carabao Cup semi-final tie between Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. The team news is out. I'll give you that in a moment. We are sponsored by Manscaped as well. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Get your 20% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped and the code United Stands. But we're going to fly straight into this team news for you. Fortunately, we can't put it up on the screen yet because the stats provider doesn't do it for a few minutes, but I can give you this team news. And effectively, it is David De Gea is in goal. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martinez and Malacia. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Weghorst, Anthony, Rashford. So arguably at the moment, our strongest Manchester United front six. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Weghorst and Anthony is our front six. De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Malacia at left back, and then Martinez and Lindelof. No space for Varane, who may well be being rested. And some people say they're surprised that Harry Maguire is not involved. But I think Harry Maguire may well be on the bench. No, he's not. Rafael Varane is on the bench. So it's Heaton, Varane, Williams, Fred, Mainu, McTominay, Pellistri, Alanga and Garnacho. And this worries me a little bit about this game. Not a lot, but it worries me a little bit that, again, I think we've got to get goals in the first half, because in the second half, if we're going to tire again, you look at the bench and it's Pellistri, Alanga and Garnacho and McTominay and Mainu as our game changers. The squad depth just isn't there at the moment, is it? Martial and Sancho can add to that at some point, but no. Some people are saying that Maguire's actually suspended for this game. I did not know that. Fair play to everybody in the chat. I did not know that. Thank you, everybody. So how did he get suspended for that then? He didn't get sent off, did he? I don't know. I don't know what's gone on there. I do not know. So anybody in the chat who can let us know, let us know. But yeah, I don't know. Luke Shaw has been rested, and also we've got. What have we got? We've got... What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Eriksen's probably a player I would have rested. I don't know. Look, I mean, look, Mark, who are you rooting for? Hilarious, Pony PlayStation. You're so funny. You know what? You should go up and stand up with stuff like that. You know, making up lies that aren't even funny. Pellistri should get some game time, says Aziz. Yeah, I was trying to think there. Yeah, we assume that maybe Eriksen should be rested, and you know maybe he should. But on the other hand, of course, it's up to Erik ten Hag what he decides to do, and obviously he doesn't want to make changes. Therefore, you know maybe he won't make major changes in the FA Cup as well. So. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. Arsenal was a small setback. I'm still confident we'll end the season on a high and with a trophy, says Dan B. So team is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martinez and Malacia. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Weghorst and Anthony. So it's a strong Manchester United side. Obviously taking it seriously. It's a chance to get into the Carabao Cup final. So we are taking it seriously. And further to that, we are still stuck in the same situation we've been in for the last few games. We're very reliant on that first team, because if it doesn't work out, then we don't really have a lot on the bench. We're still playing games every 3.5 days. So there we go. Sky have brought out the big guns. Gary Neville and Roy Keane for a Carabao Cup semi-final. You know, people at Sky are taking it seriously. Evening, Mark. We're taking it seriously. We're here for every United game. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. Arsenal. I've done that one, of course. Done that one. Thank you very much. Mark, is it true Ollie will only take the Everton job if they sign Maguire and McTominay in January, says Hash? They're not seriously looking at that. Seriously not. So Everton, don't do that. Seriously, do not do that. Talking about ball. Anyway, look, let's talk about Manscaped. It's next to me there. Scan the QR code. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. What is Manscaped? Well, it's all about this thing, the Lawnmower 4.0. And it really is about trimming the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products with Manscaped. Male precision engineering for your family jewels. The Lawnmower 4.0 is got a light for a more precise shave. It's waterproof. It's got adjustable lengths for whichever length you want to cut it down to. And the things around it, not the thing. Electromagnetic induction charging, which you just put in its port and away you go. And as I said, you can get free delivery and 20% off worldwide and free delivery when you use the code United Stand or scan the QR code next to me. They've also got the Weed Whacker. Wow, look at that. That's ready to go. That's for your nose, or if you're really old, your ears. Fantastic little thing. This all comes as part of the performance package you can get as well, where you get boxer shorts, travel bag, deodorants, and that as well. Really good products. Really good products. I've had these for ages now. They haven't sent me any new ones, and they're brilliant. They're really, really good. Well weighted, field quality, 20% off, and it really does make a difference. So what are you waiting for? Use the code United Stand, scan the QR code, and you won't look back. You'll look down a lot more when you get Manscaped. Thank you very much to Manscaped. Details are in the video description. Joshua Adams says, do you think we'll see Sancho in the FA Cup game or the second leg? Hope so. Hope so, Joshua. Can't wait to win this cup. We deserve some happiness after so much suffering. It's not the biggest trophy, but it's a huge step forward, says Shahin. Mark, I'm 38. I've got ear hair. It's bad, says the alien. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club, Sam Collins. You should do a meetup in Orlando, Florida one day, maybe at one of the theme parks, says Harry. Yeah, I'll meet you outside the Mickey ride. Make, thank you very much for becoming a member. I got my tickets for the Dublin Enjoy Your Guinness gang, says Alan Noonan. Yeah, can't wait for that. Thanks everyone who's buying tickets for the United Stand on tour. We're doing Dublin, Manchester and London in the international break in March. If you're a member of the channel, the link is there as an early access for you. Those tickets are going already. On Friday, they'll be out for generally everybody to get hold of. However, somebody messaged me today and said they can't get a membership because they don't have it in their country. Could I drop the link so they can get a ticket? What we might do is a 10-minute drop the link in the live chat pinned to the top. And then if you get a ticket, you get a ticket. If you don't, you don't. You wait till Friday. But we might just do a little live link drop for 10 minutes that people can grab them. Need something out of Anthony and Veghorst today. Do you think Harry's brother will be writing a strongly worded email about the suspension, says Sean? I don't know why he's suspended. Does anybody know? Lee says, hope you and the family are well. Thank you very much, Lee. Do you think we could get Spence on loan considering Conte's comments on him, says Jack Birtles? And regarding the criticism, I like Spence. I think there's a good player there. Regarding the criticism towards Erik ten Hag for not rotating, he has said before that he likes to rotate players for longer periods rather than game to game, says Himraz. Yeah, I don't see why people criticise. You know, people criticised about the Casemiro thing as well. I don't see why people criticise, because at the end of the day, we're still learning about this manager. He's doing a great job, but we are still learning. People talk like they're bloody having dinner with him every week. Oh, why is he not rotated? Well, maybe he's not rotating because he doesn't. That's not what he does. We'll have to wait and find out. Evening, Mark. Hope all is well. Next time you do a Manscaped advert, at least clean the shaver before. Haha. Come on, United, says Pav. You've made me look at the shaver. Well done. Mission accomplished. I know it's clean because that's I don't use that one. I have got another one. SK's a chat legend, says Ant. We don't know what's happened with Luke Shaw. I presume it's just a rest. Give him a rest. He's had a busy time. I don't know where Maguire is. Somebody might be able to tell. Somebody mentioned that he's been suspended. The Forest team, in case you want to know it, is Hennessy, Worrell, Gibbs-White, Surridge, Johnson, Freuler, Aurier, McKenna, Danilo, Scarpa and Loddy. Lingard is on the bench for them, and obviously Henderson can't play anyway because he's on loan from us, but he's injured as well. So, yeah, Forest, watch out for Brennan Johnson. He's probably their in-form player at the moment, doing rather well. Some people are a little bit disappointed that De Gea's starting and, Ten Hag not rotating. I'm actually happy that De Gea's in goal. Harry Maguire is suspended tonight due to yellow cards. I didn't even know that. I actually put him in my team. Yeah, very, very interesting. Maguire obviously would have known that, and I suppose it's a bit of another little disappointment for Harry Maguire in a season that's not been the best for him for Manchester United. I'm sure he probably would have been starting tonight, and of course if Lindelof plays well, Lindelof did do quite well before the World Cup, hasn't really had any chances since. Hi Mark, would it be possible to do a meet-up in Liverpool as part of the tour? Says 7:30 promo. You'd be surprised how many people watch the United Stand from Liverpool, you know. I don't know whether we'd be able to sell tickets for it, but Liam, welcome to the Members Club. Mark, do Pep, his first cup was EFL Cup. Why not for Ten Hag? We want the win. So say, mate, I'm not disrespecting the the Carabao Cup. We haven't won anything for 5 years, so I'm not going to disrespect the Carabao Cup. I think it's a tournament that we've got to have a go at. Do you plan to do any shows in India? I've been following you since 2017. Love the United stand, says Nishank. And Harry Maguire's been spending most of our lives living in a gangster paradise, says Danny. Excited to see you in Manchester, Mark, mate. Best thing I've got to look forward to. And welcome Luca to the members club. So I hopefully might be able to put the team news up for you now. I don't know. It sometimes takes a little bit of time to come through, but let's have a quick look. There it is. It's on the screen. Yay. There's the United team for you. So we can start playing that on the stats carousel as well. So take a look at that team. Make sure you smash the like on the video and subscribe as well. But I'm quite happy with that team. As I said, I'm quite realistic. I've gone with a 2-0 win as my prediction. And I think it comes down to the first half. So, yeah, I think it comes down to the first half. I predict we're going to tire out in the second half again. So, I think you've got to look at that and go, yeah, we've got to get this game done in the first half. And then in the second half, we've got to be reliant on our defence again. Can I please be a moderator, says Monaghan. It's not up to me. I'll be watching on Sky. Hope you're well, says Daniel Derbyshire. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the game's not on. Obviously, in the UK, it's on Sky. So we get to watch it, which is great. We don't always get to watch the games because they're not always on the telly, but our worldwide audience, you always seem to have it on. So let us know if you are not able to watch it, and we'll keep you up to date always. Anyway, thanks for the good work, Mark. How is Maguire suspended with limited game time, though? I don't know, Ronnie. If anyone can give us a little bit of info on that. I presume he wasn't suspended for the Arsenal game. So how is he suspended for the Carabao Cup? Is the Carabao Cup exclusive for the Carabao Cup? He must have picked up, what, 2 yellow cards in the... I didn't even know the Carabao Cup had its own exclusivity. The bench is weak. Why aren't we getting deals done? Unbelievable, says Carter. There's still rumours that United are going to do a deal before next Tuesday. We'll have to wait and see. Who do you think would be the best suitors to buy United? Hope you're doing well. Always look forward to your show, says Benjamin. The best person to buy Manchester United, or persons to buy Manchester United, are people who do want to stay at the club for a long time and want to invest a lot of money into the club to make us the greatest football club in the world. I don't want people who are buying us to make a return in 10 years, 5 years, or anything like that. I want people who are buying us to keep us and to make us great, you know. And then I'll look at nationalities and where they're from and everything. But that's the first thing, isn't it? Surely, you know, whether it's a gym, whether it's American, whether it's Middle East. The first thing is you want to tick those boxes. They want to be the owner forever, which is unrealistic, but you know they have that intention, and they want to spend a lot of money and make a success. They're the 2 key principles for me. So thank you very much for that super chat from Benjamin. Keep them coming in. Also, team streaming platform in India, says Karan. Forget watching on TV. I can't even see it on streaming. Some stuff we have to do it here in India, says Pankaj. I think there's a few people out there. Dewey says it's the wrong team. Sky had expected Maguire to start, so doubt it's yellow cards, says David. Well, Samuel Lucker says it is. So yeah, it's that's interesting. Somebody just said that this team is wrong. I don't know whether that's even our team. That's the Forest team. This is our team. There you go. Weghorst, Anthony, Bruno, Rashford, Casemiro, Ericsson, Malacia, Martinez, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, David De Gea. There it is on the screen for you in all its glory. I did put Forest lineup on because I saw red. And I thought, that's Man United, but I haven't got my glasses on. Weghorst does press, but we need goals from him, not running stats. Sean, I really do hope that Weghorst scores tonight. That's one of my big hopes from the game tonight. I really do hope Weghorst scores a goal because I think it's so important. That's what he's going to be judged on. Even he said it in an interview. I'm going to be judged on goals. So I really hope he does. Someone just said Rashford needs a rest. It sticks in my mind what Ben Foster said on the show on Monday, that, you know, most injuries do happen in games. You do get the odd injury in training, but most injuries do happen in games. So you know, the more games you play, the more chance of you getting injured. But I think you've got to play Rashford in this game. I completely disagree with people who are saying we should rotate, because this is the game that I think is our most difficult game out of the next three. So we've got Reading at home on Saturday night, which is a walk in the park. I'm not being disrespectful. They've got the worst away record in the Championship in their mid-table. They've got a worse away record than the team that's bottom of the Championship. So I'm not worried about Reading at home. I'm not saying they can't beat us, but it should be a straightforward win and we should be able to rotate a lot. And then the second leg against Forest next Wednesday, if you take care of this game, that should be straightforward as well. So this game's the hardest game of the three before we play Palace a week on the weekend. So I think you've got to go strong. Yeah, you've got to go strong. You've got to go with De Gea and Martinez and Wan-Bissaka and Eriksen and Casemiro and Rashford and Bruno. And yes, there's an element of injury risk. But if one of those players did get injured today, I wouldn't want to see fans going, Ten Hag got it wrong, because we could lose this game tonight. I know Forest are a bad side, but they've got a lot better. And they're at the City ground and we're a bit tired. It is a potentially difficult game. Look, Newcastle scored very late against Southampton last night away from home. This could be a tough game. So I think Ten Hag is like, let's not go into the second leg needing to pick our strongest team, you know, after a draw or, God forbid, a 1-0 loss. Let's get the result at the City ground, and then they've got to come out at Old Trafford, and with space, we'll finish the game anyway. Fabrizio said, Everton are considering Ollie. What are your thoughts, says Daniel Kirk? I think Everton go from bad to worse if they're thinking about doing that. I mean, I'm sorry. I love Ollie. But look at what he did at Cardiff. Look at what he did at Manchester United with a lot of money and a big club. I don't think he is a Premier League coach. I really don't. Paul Berry, welcome to the Members Club. In all-time Premier League... And also, you don't get Solskjaer in to keep you up. You don't get Solskjaer into a relegation battle. So I think that's complete nonsense. In all-time Premier League save, De Gea is second. Just shows how bad our defence was and how crucial he is, says Anshaman. And Anthony should start to take on players more and run more with the ball. This seems like a game he can take advantage of, says Nishank. Well, like Ten Hag said, he wants them to be more direct. Hi, Mark. What's your score prediction, says Marcus. I'm just laughing at the poll. So we've had 5,000 votes here. Shall we drop the tour tickets link on here for 10 minutes as an exclusive early opportunity for people? 68% have said yes and 32% have said no. I don't know what planet the 32% are on. I don't know why you'd vote no on that, because either you want to get a ticket or you don't. But Veghorst has been better than Gakpo and Felix so far, says Raz. Yeah, but he's not better than Gakpo and Felix, is he? And hi, Mark. Whenever you plan a tour to Dubai, I can help you out. We'll definitely be there at the tour. 2-0 United. Sounds good, Rashid. Do you think we could do a tour in Dubai? Forwards and defenders win your games. Midfielders win your trophies, says Anabav. And Trouble, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Right. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We have got a tour coming out in the international break. We're going to Dublin, we're going to Manchester, and we're going to London. It's a live United Stand evening. Lots is going to be going on. Really excited about it. Tickets are available on Friday to the general public. However, if you're a member of the United Stand Club, you get 2 days where you can get a ticket if you want to. And the tickets are going quite fast, to be fair. What I'm going to do, because we've got a great community, is I'm just going to drop that link in the chat for 10 minutes and I'm going to pin it. And if you want to grab yourself a ticket early before they go out general consumption on Friday, then that opportunity is there. Is Ben Foster going? You'll have to wait and see. Let me just do that. Ticket link. So Dublin, Manchester and London. Why is that not working, you little shit? It will work. I know what's happened there. Do you see Forest as a threat? I don't think they score many goals, but I think it's like going to Bournemouth. It's like going to Fulham. It's a Premier League club that potentially could cause us a few problems. And the atmosphere will be good and they will be energetic. So yeah, it could be interesting in that sense. Right, I've pinned it. it's there for you. If you want to get a ticket, you've got 10 minutes, and then we'll take that down until Friday, unless you're a member. So there you go. Mark, do you know how long time Premier League will need to approve a sale? I'm afraid this will drag on, says Per Classic. I don't know, mate. It's a good question. Some 32% from outside Europe who don't want people there to get these tickets this easily, says Nishank. Welcome to Members Club number 1, and Trouble we already did. So yeah, I've pinned it to the top of the chat. If you're watching this watch along and you want to get a ticket, we're going to keep that up there for exactly 10 minutes till 7:30. They're out on Friday for public consumption, but you've got 10 minutes where you can use the exclusive link to get tickets if you want to. So get in there. Don't have any regrets. Right, thanks for choosing Clapham Junction. Makes it easier to get home, says Catherine. And can you say happy birthday to my friend Mike? Yeah, Kenny, I've played the game, Kenny. Kenny, you're going to get a couple of minutes here. No, you're not. Kenny has said, can I say happy birthday to his mate called Mike, and his second name is Hunt. I've played the game, Kenny. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've played the game. The day I fall for Mike, first name, second name Hunt, is the day I'll retire. That ain't going to happen. I'm never going to say those two words together, Mike and Hunt. So, yeah, won't happen. Will you be doing meet and greets? Yes. Yeah, there will be stuff going on. I wouldn't call it meet and greets. There'll be a bar close by, and I'll be in it having a drink, and if people want to come and have a chat, that's what we'll do. This is, as much as it's as it's United Stand on tour, and we've got some good stuff for people who are going to go, it's also an opportunity to get out and about and actually start chatting with people. So I'm looking forward to it. Mark, what do you think about Man City? Not a lot. I think all I'm thinking about is Manchester United at the moment and this game. Will the shows be recorded? Don't know at the moment, Sean. It's not a pub crawl, SK. Hi, Mark. Hope you're doing well. What is your score prediction? I think you've made a great point there, Morpheus, because I think it's so important that Weghorst scores tonight. And I think it's so important that Anthony starts playing well as well. So, look, I hope Rashford scores. I hope Bruno has a good game. I'm sure Casemiro will have a good game. But we already know those players can be massively important. I really do want Weghorst to score tonight. I really do want Anthony to have a good game tonight, because that changes things. We know that Rashford's fantastic at the moment. We know that Bruno can be a match winner. But we don't know about Weghorst. We don't know about Anthony. And if they can start having good games, then that can be a huge, huge bonus for us. Because, some people are writing them off. Bring the tour to North Island, says Mark Lakebridge. Thank you very much. You forgot to address my question earlier today whether Delo is important for Anthony's development, says Axel. No, I did. I did acknowledge it. Maybe I acknowledged it in my head. I do think Delo works better with Anthony because Delo knows how to go forward, whereas Wan-Bissaka doesn't. So, yeah, I do think he's an important player. Are you going to give out tie and blazer badge sets at the live tour, says Luke. I know what you're talking about. So the stats carousel should be going round, but I don't know why it's not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I haven't seen it change yet, but it should be going round. Sponsored by OneFootball. Scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner or go through the link in the video description. OneFootball, the place to get all your latest breaking football news and transfer news and stats. They've got some really good... The thing I like about OneFootball is the player stuff. You can click on a player and it gives you quite a good breakdown of stats, which are not too much. It's free to download on Apple and Android. Check it out. Free to do it. A super chat from Charlie. He says, given the chance, would you go back and buy Gakpo? We all know your thoughts on Felix, and to be fair, he looked awesome. In contrast, Gakpo's looked terrible, says Charlie. I would buy Gakpo. I wanted João Felix. I think João Felix is fantastic. That's my own opinion. I would buy Gakpo because that's what Ten Hag wanted. I know that Ten Hag, number one, was Gakpo. So I would love United to buy Gakpo, but I must admit, I don't know whether he's going to be any good. But remember, that's what Ten Hag wanted. Kerry, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. There is still tickets in Dublin, says Gabrielle. Yeah. And come to Cork in Ireland, says Dave. I've never been to Cork, and I would like to go to Cork. Chris, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. We need Wout to score, and we need to win this cup. Go United, says Christian. I don't think this cup is straightforward. I think tonight... this game is hugely important because it's the tougher game of the two there. But even if we beat Forest over 2 legs, which I expect us to, we're probably going to play Newcastle in the final, and I think that's a difficult game. So and remember that's coming up fast, a month today, 26th of Feb. So look, I don't like the Carabao Cup. Shock. Goldbridge doesn't like the Carabao Cup. I don't like the Carabao Cup, but I'm looking at it now, it's a trophy. In the Sir Alex days, if you said to me this season you'll just win the Carabao Cup, I'd be like, oh God. And to be honest, so would Sir Alex and Gary Neville and everyone else. They'd be like, that's not a good season winning the Carabao Cup. Because it wasn't. That was the standard that was set. Carabao Cup wasn't a good season. But when you've not won a trophy for 5 years, it's not a bad start. When you've just had the worst season Man United have ever had in Premier League history last year, the Carabao Cup's not a bad progression. It needs to be a stepping stone, but we can't dismiss it before we've even won it. And it is a stepping stone. Mark, will the tour be on YouTube? Keep up the good work. I don't know about that, Nasri. The plan is not to stream it live on YouTube. We want it to be, for those people that come in and stuff. Blake Williamson, welcome to the Members Club. Hello, Mark. I believe that a loan to Dortmund for 2 years would be so beneficial for Alanga due to their great development. Yeah, Sitten, I like Alanga. I do think he needs a bit of development. Yeah. A bit of a weird thing going on. Just bought tickets for me and the missus. See you in Manchester, says LJ Cookson. Can't wait. Remember that link is going down in 4 minutes. That's an exclusive ticket link at the top of the live chat. It's only available for members until Friday, and then on Friday it goes public. So if you're not a member and you want tickets, don't moan when they're all gone on Friday. That's going down in 4 minutes. It's just a little bit of an exclusive for you lot. Bring United Stand to Canada. We've got great beer. We are going to America in the summer, Adam, which ain't far away from Canada. Asher, thank you very much. There's loads of places we want to take it to as well. Yeah, that's why it can't stay up for ages, Red Light. He says if you keep that up too long, it will sell out. Evening, Mark. With reports that Everton are interested in Ziyech, would you take him for 25 million? I've always rated him personally. No, we haven't got the money, Andy. I'd take Ziyech on a loan, but we haven't got the money for him. Harry Maguire is suspended. That's why he's not playing. I'm very surprised by this, but Samuel Looker said he's suspended. And I put him in the preview. I put him in my team in the preview. I didn't know he was suspended tonight. So that was kept quite quiet, really, wasn't it? But he is suspended, so he can't play for Manchester United tonight. Wherever that is, why that is. I know he got booked against Charlton, but I presume there's a scenario where if you get 2 yellow cards, you get a game ban, because he was on the bench for the Arsenal game. So it must be a Carabao Cup thing, which is exclusive to that, which is a little bit odd. But yeah, that's what that is. But we'll go along with that. Just got mine for Dublin, says Connor. Thank you for dropping the link. I think I know what pub you're going to after. See you there, Mark. Says cheers. Or I might go there before. I might be in Dublin all week. I've not been to Dublin for ages. My mates Katie and Anna both want to give you a hand. Oh, Chevy, come on. We're not that. Maybe he slept in for a meeting, says the OJ. He's suspended. No, he's suspended because of yellow cards. He's not suspended because of. It's not a Marcus Rashford thing. Maguire, people are currently composing a strongly worded email. And thank you, Luca. He's got his tickets. And it's the same as Premier League, surely. Is it 18 plus, says Ross? No. No, it's not a stand-up. It's a United Stand show. So there won't be anything in there that's, we're not going to reenact Pulp Fiction or anything like that. Welcome to the Members Club Zero Connection. I'm really looking forward to this game tonight. I really am. There's 1 minute and I'm taking that ticket link down, just to let you know, because it's only there for 10 minutes. Would it be a successful season for Erik Ten Hag if we won the EFL and got top 4? That's looking likely, says Abdi. I personally think, and I've said it before, I think that if we get top 4 and we win the Carabao Cup, although I want a lot more, because we are still in the Europa League and we are still in the FA Cup, if we get top 4 and win the Carabao Cup, personally, I think that's a good season for Manchester United. Mark, head for the Palace Bar in Dublin when you're out in town. It's a mighty spot, says Sean. Never heard of that. Sounds good. Trophies are trophies, says Michael. You want to win them all? That should be the mentality. They're there to win. Michael, apologies. I'm sure you don't speak like that. I just felt like ringing it. Trophies are trophies. You want to win them all. That should be the mentality. They're there to win. I might start doing that a little bit more, actually, putting voices on. Mike Barton. Mark, progress is clear to see. I love seeing Eric Ten Hag taking notes pitch side. GGMU. And Charlie Max, who's regular, so it's hard to do his... you can pick either Enzo Fernandez or Osman in the summer. Players in different positions, but you're allowed one. What are your thoughts? Says Charlie Max. Well, the chat can let us know as well. Enzo Fernandez or Osman in the summer. And I can only pick one. I've got to go Osman, haven't I? I have to go Osman because we need both. We desperately need both, but not necessarily those players, but those profile of players in those positions. We do need both. I think I'd go with Osman. Yeah, I think I would go with Osman. Yeah. Gary Neville, high-pitched voice, is making a comeback. Most people are saying Osman as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to take this link down now because it's been up for 11 minutes and it was only meant to be up for 10. That will be out for the general public on Friday. If you are a member, it's on the community tab. You get early dabs anyway. So I'm removing that link now. There you go. Fair's fair. When is United Stand FC coming back to career mode? It's not. I'm doing a Man United one, Sebastian, and it's on Twitch exclusively. Goldbridge TV. First 3 episodes are there. Welcome to United Stand Members Club, Ryan Whelan. And Osman for sure says big balls. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Manscaped if you've got big balls. 20% off. Links in the video description and free worldwide shipping. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. I like the lineup, but I'm afraid for Casemiro, says Owen. Why are you afraid, Owen? Let me know. Why are you afraid? I just thought, I'm surprised that McTominay's not playing tonight. I'm happy. But I'm happy Fred's not playing. I'm happy that Maguire's not playing. I'm happy that we've gone quite strong. It's not because I dislike the players. I believe we've got to go strong. I think, personally, and I don't know what you think, I think, personally, we've got to go strong in this first game because it's the toughest one of the next 3 cup ties. James Jacobs, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. That subscriber count is wrong. God, I've just been messaged. There was a queue due to high demand on the tickets. Exciting stuff. Anyway, let's go back to the... I'm looking forward to seeing you there. If you can get there, great. If you can't get there, then we have got more coming up. So, yeah, it's going to be good. And we are definitely going to be in America in July because United are going to be in America. So, as soon as we know where they're going to be, we'll look at a couple of venues when United aren't playing where we can do some meet and greet, sort of similar things there as well. And then hopefully in future years, United will go to South Africa and India, because I really think they should be going to places like that and not just going to America and Australia, etc. every alternate years. I loved it when United went to South Africa years ago. I think Keane was playing then and Solskjaer and everyone like that. Sally Devil Reds just gifted 5 United Stand memberships. You're a legend, Sally. Thoughts on Liao as a potential striker? I think Liao's a fantastic player, FIFA Crazy. I really, really do. But I'm not so sure about him as a striker. But you're right, he's similar to Gakpo in profile and could be converted to that. How does Anthony keep on getting to start over Garnacho, says Stuart Walker? I'm not hating on Anthony, but Garnacho has been better in my opinion, says Stuart. Well, I have to disagree with you, Stuart. Respectfully disagree, because I did put Anthony in my team for the game tonight, and I said that realistically I would start Garnacho against Reading because it's an easier opposition. And I think this game is more important. Now, I suppose what you're saying is it's not about easier opposition. It's about who deserves to play, and Garnacho's better. So, you know, that's a completely different point. But I did put Anthony in my starting lineup and Garnacho to start at the weekends. But he's trying to go strong. That's what he's trying to do, Joshua. Anthony. Or Stuart. Looking forward to seeing Danilo. Just hope he's not as good as he is in my Football Manager save, says Joshua Bowwater. I prefer Vlahovic to Osman, says Tim. Yeah, you're not the only one. I prefer Osman. Another top-class midfielder plus Osman this summer and Kane next year when he's out on contract from Spurs. That's the way to go, says DJ. Glazes out. I don't think Harry Kane's ever going to be out of contract. They'll sell him this summer or he'll sign a new one. Owen says, my apologies on not saying what I was afraid of for Casemiro. It's because he's so essential. If anything bad was to happen to him, we know how bad we can be, says Owen. Yeah, I understood you as that anyway. I understood it as that. Mark Davies, welcome to the Members Club. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're getting very close to 566,000. We're only about 300 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. We've got 2 o'clock content as well. Get involved with the United Stand. Fantastic community. Everyone's welcome. I want Sneak, but it doesn't sneak ship to Belgium, says Sebastian. Well, I tell you what, Sebastian, here's a deal. If you come over to one of the tour dates, I'll make sure there's some Sneak that you can take back with you. I can't say fairer than that. B. Yakov says, I did the maths for Martial's minutes this season. He's played in 9 out of 20 for 461 minutes total, giving his average minutes per game at 51.2. So he's only been available for 45% of the league games. B. Yakov, can we just clap him? Clap him. It's funny, we're going to Clapham Junction, aren't we, as well? But clap him. I said this morning, can somebody figure out what the maths are for Martial in the Premier League? So he says he's played 9 out of 20 games for 461 minutes, giving his average minutes games of 51.2 minutes. He's only been available for 45% of our league games, which is less than half. And actually, it's probably less than that, really, if you're doing it on minutes, if you think about it. Brilliant. Thank you very much, mate. Did you see Deeney's comments on the podcast about Maguire's agent, basically calling people out without Maguire knowing? Still on Harry, though. He could be the one making decisions, not letting agent run his mouth. Worst captain, says Nick97. Charlie Savage deal done. I think he's gone to Forest Green. Good. First team football for a youth player is always good. Nabil says, thoughts on Luis Enrique, the Real Betis player, can play as a striker and a winger? Well, Nabil, we've all got players that we go, oh, let's go and sign them. I remember saying about Lozano years ago and Fabinho, but the club were never in for them. I mean, ultimately, that's what I was saying about Gakpo. I don't think I would have gone for Gakpo, but I knew that Ten Hag wanted him, and that's why I wanted United to get him. I think this manager's earned the right to be trusted on things like that. Vaz says, I love your shows, Mark. Not hating on others on United Stand, but prefer your shows and how to gift membership. I think if you're on desktop, you click the $sign and then it says membership gifting, but I don't know how you do it on your phone. Not that I'm buying into the hype, but I think Ferguson was English, would be in for about 60 million. I like the look of Ferguson. And I like the fact that he's Irish, because I think Irish football hasn't really got players coming through for a while. So I'm pretty pleased for them. And I think he looks like a fantastic player. And I tell you what, I'd love him at Man United, because I think it's been a long time since United had a really good Irish player. You know, we've had the Roy Keanes, we've had the Dennis Irwins. You know, I'd love him to be a future Man United player. And I guarantee if he's Irish, he either supports Man United or Liverpool. That might be a bit stereotypical, but when I lived there, that was basically the case. I mean, funnily enough, when I lived in Dublin, most people supported United or Liverpool. There was actually a few Aston Villa fans, which I never understood. Vlahovic would be the better deal than Osman. Very good cost. Little will cost. Osman will cost 140 million. Both are risky though. Serie A doesn't generally do well in the Prem. But the thing about Osman is he's done well elsewhere. Are the US dates confirmed yet? Says Anthony. No, the club haven't confirmed it yet. United will be in the United States the middle 2 weeks of July. Definitely. But we don't know where they're going. They normally play in LA. I don't think we normally do New York on tour. I can't remember the last time we did New York. It's normally, we definitely always do LA. But yeah. I don't know whether any of the venues are sold out yet, Jack. I don't know. I've not had that information. So, what part of Dublin do you live in, says CeeLo. I lived in Malahide. Aidan's got his tickets for Dublin. He can't wait. Good stuff. And Mark, my girlfriend is... do Seattle, says Aditya. Yeah, then I can be sleepless in Seattle. But dad joke. Mark, my girlfriend is obsessed with you. Can you say hi, Neve, says Reese. Reese, that's not a good thing. Don't worry, Reese. I'd never do anything. Because I'm married, and also I'm not like that. Is it over 18 because it says that on Ticketmaster, says Jack. I'm not selling the tickets, so... There's a lot of second and third generation Irish in Birmingham. That's why there's a few Villa fans in Dublin, says DJ. And thoughts on Ericsson having a rest, says Brian. Well, he's definitely getting a rest on Saturday. I mean, I don't want to be upsetting Incy, but we're beating Reading with our reserves. And if we don't, those reserves should be sold before the deadline day. So Ericsson, Casemiro should be getting a rest on Saturday, and you play McTominay and Fred. Whether Bruno gets a rest, I don't know. I've seen United in DC. They played Inter, says Tim. I don't know when the last time was United played in New York in a pre-season. We need Seattle. I'll do LA though, says Corey Lineker. And Mark, Luke Shaw is out due to illness, says Imperial X. Well, it's not a bad time to get ill, is it? You know, it's not a bad time to get ill. On Harry Maguire, let me just confirm. Well, we know he was out suspended, but I did tweet it, so somebody will have been knowledgeable on Twitter. It can happen. He got booked against Burnley and Charlton, and that's from at United Sam, at United_Sam05. So yeah, accumulation of yellow cards, and he got 2 yellow cards in the cup. There we go. That's what happened. Simple as that. Ten Hag confirms that Luke Shaw is not in the squad due to illness, but to be honest, at the end of the day, we wish Luke all the best. He's a fantastic player and he's doing so well at the moment. But realistically, he probably could do with the rest anyway. These are some quotes from Ten Hag. We want to win every game. So every game we put up the best team. That'll upset some people because even I would say you can't put your best team out every game, Eric. We rely on him, Lindelof. We have to use this squad. All the players in the squad are able to play, and once their time comes, they have to deliver. It's always about the team performance, and I think they know what to do out of rules and principles. It's great. Semi-final, so we have to play our best. That's from Ten Hag as well. We take this competition serious. In the lineup, we need a strong selection to beat this Forest side because it's a strong team with energy, and we've got to be good. You have to make it your game. I think he's absolutely spot on. I don't think Nottingham Forest are the best team in the Premier League by a long stretch, but I think it's the same as going to Fulham, it's the same as going to Bournemouth, it's the same as going to Southampton. If you don't go there and respect it, you won't get the result you want. Look at Liverpool. They've struggled against teams like this. They got beat 1-0 at City Ground. These hostile crowds that are just loving being in the Premier League and want to back their team and enjoy the occasion. It's a Wednesday night under the lights. They don't play in Europe. This is the equivalent of their Champions League. So these fans will be up for this. These players will be up for this. And Ten Hag's right. We've got the better players, but you've got to match them for tenacity and energy. And that's my concern. I think we've got to win this game in the first half because in the second half, we will tire. Because we tired against Palace a week ago and we tired against Arsenal on Sunday. And that is a hint. We played last Wednesday against Palace. Tough game for 90 minutes. We played 90 minutes against Arsenal. Tough game for 90 minutes. We conceded late in both those games, which meant it wasn't a foot off the pedal. They were 90-minute games. People will say, well, every game's a 90-minute game. But it's not a 90-minute game when you're 3-0 up with half an hour to go. You can rotate. You can take your foot off the pedal. So, third game in 7 days. Every chance will fall off a little bit in the second half. We've got to be good in the first half. We've got to be good in the first half. British Gamer, thank you very much for the super chat there. Mark, come to Cork, not Dublin. Cork's the real capital of Ireland, says Pat. I've never been to Cork. But I do love Dublin. I love it. Fantastic place. I lived there between 1999 and 2002. And I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. I was living in Dublin when United won the treble. So many people have said go back and live there because we might win another one. That's one of my stories for the Dublin show ruined. Anyway, show some respect, mate, says Chris. Respect to who? And what did you do there, says Matthias. Well, basically lived there, brushed my teeth, all that sort of stuff. Standard stuff. Bus or taxi, says Pacey. Taxi. Private car. Can we have a quick word on how Ahmad is performing? Serious potential, and not just on the left wing, he can play century, says Ben. Look, it's nice to monitor what people are doing on loan, but I think some people spend too much time professing to be experts doing videos on these sort of things, and actually I don't think you're doing anybody any favours. He's playing in the Championship, he's developing well. The real task is in the summer. That's why I don't want him to come back. I don't want Mesbury to come back. I don't want Laird to come back. They're performing well on loan in the Championship. It's a step. Ahmad could score a hat-trick every week in the Championship. I still wouldn't bring him back, and it still doesn't mean he's going to be a United player. It's a step. And it's a positive step that I think people like Alanga need to make as well. I don't take a lot of it. No, I don't take a lot of interest in what they're doing in the Championship. I just take an overview and I go, they're doing really well. Keep doing it, consistency, and then let's see what happens in the summer. But Ahmad played as a false 9 against Wolves up front in the final game of the season under Solskjaer, so he can play there. Ahmad is a very exciting player, and I think the problem with Ahmad and Pellistri, I would summarise it like this: they were desperation buys, and Solskjaer never had a bloody clue what he was doing with them. I think we bought them because we didn't get Sancho. We bought 2 good players and then never had a plan what to do with them. They were never going to play, and we didn't know what to do with them. So it's a bit like Rashford and Martial, who've lost a lot of time because of being overplayed. I think Ahmad and Pellistri probably lost 18 months because we didn't have a plan for them. You know, some people buy a talent like Ahmad and they know the plan. You're coming in, you're going straight down on loan for a year, and then we'll have a look at you. But you know, we just don't. We bought players, we bought young talent and didn't know what we were doing. That will change under Ten Hag. I'm buzzing for this one. Watch out for a 6'4" pitch invader with a square head trying to grab the armband from Bruno at the 85th minute. Just a feeling, says Sean O'Rourke. I thought you were talking about someone dressed up as SpongeBob then. How was the food in Dublin, Mark? And when are you coming to South Africa, says Mick. I mean, food's not something I definitely remember as a standout thing in Dublin. Although there was a pub in Malahide where they had a loaf of bread. I asked for like a beef stew, and this loaf of bread came out about that wide, right? And they put it on my plate. And I said, "You're having a laugh. What are you doing? You're having a laugh." And they said, "No, there's a lid on the bread." So the lid is bread. You take it off, and they'd hollowed out the bread and filled it with stew. And I said, "I'm sorry for my initial look of disdain. This is bloody fantastic." And of course, when you've ate all the stew, all the bread's got soaked in sauce. It was lovely, fantastic, really really great. So that's my cup of tea. Mikhail, thanks for the memories. It was in Smith's, Adrian. It was in Smith's. Gibney's, Duffy's and Smith's are the 3 pubs in Malahide. Smith's was good for food, Gibney's was good for the crack, and Duffy's was best for the football, in my opinion. So, yeah. But I don't know now. I don't know. I need to go to Malahide, actually. Lovely place. Lovely place. Lovely marina. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. We are already only 10 minutes away from kickoff. So that's really exciting. What's this? Somebody just sent me a message about Harry Maguire. Yeah, that's a load of bollocks. Somebody just said to me, Harry Maguire's not really suspended, he's been dropped. I just replied to them and said, you're talking out your arse, he got booked twice. How do I get gift memberships, says Charlie? You click the $sign on desktop and then it says gift memberships. Mark, do you need to try Oriental's Bunny Chow from Durban, South Africa? Come on over already. I'm definitely going to South Africa, Ty. My wife's got family over there for a start, and I've never been, so if I can combine it with a bit of work, that'd be great. And I know we've got huge support over in South Africa, so I definitely want to go. Mark, you need to explain what crack is, says Joshua Powerwater. Just realised. So when I said Gibney's was best for the crack, I'm not talking about any. When you live in Ireland, the crack is is a good night. It's got nothing to do with where the night ends. It's just purely having a good time. So when you're in Ireland and you said, "Oh, we're out for the crack," we're out for a good time. There is absolutely zero sexual connotation in that at all. It is. This is the problem when you've lived in different places. Because when I lived in Ireland, people used to. When I first moved over, I really used to get stumped. People would say, "What's the story?" And I'd go, "Well, I haven't got a story." And they go, no, what's the story? I go, I haven't got a story. And basically what's the story means how you doing. It's now Fowlers, good Guinness, says Alan Noonan. Thank you very much. Anyway, we're getting very close to the start of this. Yeah, we're not talking about drugs or chuffs. We're talking about that. Having a good time, which is what it's all about. I'm happy to see Varane get a rest, hoping some other key players get early subs, says Happy Hour Network. I tell you what, you just said something that we haven't said, and you're absolutely spot on. I'm really happy that Raphael Varane is getting a break, because it's so important that players do get a break, of course. But also, I think the important thing about Varane is I was a little bit concerned that he was going off with a bit of a knock against Arsenal. So that worried me a little bit there. So I'm very happy to see Varane on the bench. And I'm also very happy that, he's getting a break. So, yeah, that is a good thing. The inevitable Varane injury is going to happen, but the longer it doesn't happen, the better, basically. Let's all have the crack tonight, says Daniel. Yeah, so Happy Hour Network, very, very happy about that. Vout hat-tricks incoming tonight, Mark. You better have that clip ready to go, says Elliot Taylor. I don't know whether I do have that clip ready to go, I do.
Weghorst. I've never heard. That's not even a real name. Woot Weghorst. You belong on a Harry Potter film. Bullshit. I've never heard of you in my bloody life. I'm losing to a Harry Potter character.
It's there. It's there. Love it. Thanks for reminding me. I know where it is now. Happy to see you. Great. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I think we're in for a good game tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to this game because I like difficult games. So I'm excited to see what we can do. It's amazing that the last time United played at the City Ground, and I wasn't there, was February 1999. Beat them 8-1. And I know I wasn't there because, funnily enough, I lived in Dublin, so I wouldn't have been there. Will you tour Glasgow? I've played the games, says Megan. I'd love to take it to Scotland. Probably Edinburgh or Glasgow, if I'm honest. How long is too long when it comes to Martial? Time to move on, or would you give him another chance next season? I'm watching Victor close tonight, says Jake. Martial will be the destiny of his own downfall or success. He's got to stay fit. He's got to stay fit. I think it's really important. Man United have won 7 times in a row against Nottingham Forest. I think it's really important that we beat, that Weghorst scores tonight. Jim now lives in a well and he loves crack. Arjun, welcome to Stand members. You know what? I'm really, really, really happy about how people have received the news that we're going to take the show on tour. Of course, you get the normal bitter twats who are just moaning about it. Who'd pay to do that? Well, probably the people who like the content, like Jack Mate's doing a Happy Hour podcast tour. Peter Crouch did a podcast tour. People do it. I won't go to them, but people do. I bet I am going to Jack Mate's in Birmingham, but I've had a few people who are, I suppose they're celebs, asking about coming, which I think is great. It's really exciting for me. I don't mind if it's a boxer or someone off Hollyoaks. For me, that's exciting. It's as exciting as meeting all you lot. So, you never know. There might be some people there that you recognise. Right. Anyway, let's get in the game mode. 5 minutes to kick off here. My dad criticised Maguire's haircut down the pub last night. He's had 6 missed calls from Harry's agent, says Luke Jones. I don't know what this is all about. Gerard, welcome to the members. Is this because of... Jared Cullen, welcome to the Members Club, by the way. Is this because of what Troy Deeney said? That he got a phone call from Maguire's agent because he said something about him publicly. Funnily enough, I've never had a phone call from Maguire's agent. I'd be lying if I said I'd not had any contact from someone associated with Maguire, but I don't think they're his agent. They're very protective of their client, aren't they? which ain't a bad thing, but yeah, it is when people tell the story. About to do some crack because of your recommendation. Golden, come on. I'm not blocked by Harry Maguire. Not yet. Will the game be on TV? I shouldn't be blocked by Harry Maguire anyway, because all I'm saying is, as a footballer, I don't think he should be starting for Man United. You know, McTominay blocked me. I think that says a lot about his mentality, but that's up to him. I think he should unblock me and listen to what we're doing. We're not negative. There was a time when it was very negative, and I think that we all remember that last season. It was bloody horrible, but I don't see any negativity this year. I think the biggest negativity I see in the fan base are people who are constantly going on about De Gea and Martial and wanting them out of the team, which isn't me. So, you know, I'm massively happy with what Ten Hag's doing. My only real frustration point is the way the club's run. In relation to players and what's happening, I'm pretty happy. Here we are, players in the tunnel. Ooh, time for a buzz. Don't forget Manscaped. If you want a buzz down there, 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Use the code United Stand. When it hits the QR code next to me, you can scan that QR code as well. Links in the description. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products delivered to your door worldwide. 20% off with the code United Stand as well. They really are good quality products as well. And yeah, very, very good. What do you think, Mark? I think bare minimum this summer should be 1 centre forward, 2 centre midfielders, 1 full back. I'd like 2 centre forwards as well, says SK. I think if the money was there, Ten Hag would do it. Gorton, thanks for the super chat. Daki says, I'm currently in the gym building up some muscle. Just saw Phil Jones warming up and pulled his hamstring, says Daki. Man in the chat said Maguire can't block anything, says Kirash. And yeah. No comments. No comments there. I'll buy you a Guinness in Dublin, Marky, says Ronan. And what TV do you have, Mark, says the Football 212. I'm using an Asus here. So that's that's a monitor. It's plugged into my because I use it for gaming as well. So I don't know what TV I've got. I'm not really into all this. I mean, I was talking to Ben Foster the other day. You know, I think footballers have a lot of time, don't they? Because he was talking about he's an expert on a lot of things, Ben Foster. What do you reckon Ollie thinks when he watches United now, says the Football 212? I hope he enjoys it. I mean, Ollie's a I love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I love him as a player. I think I've never met him, but he seems like a nice guy. But as a manager, I thought he was bad. But, you know, I hope he looks back on it and just, you know, managers get sacked. Things don't work out. You can't be good at everything. If I was only going to Solskjaer, it'd be the same as Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard. I wouldn't let it bother me. I'd look at my trophy cabinet. I'd look at what I was as a player, and nobody can deny what fantastic players you were with fantastic careers. Obviously, they might be driven and disappointed, but, you know, management's not for everybody. We're ready to go. I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be energetic. I think Michael Oliver's the referee. It'll be a good atmosphere, high energy. Let's see what happens. I'd love to see Palestri get some game time tonight. He could be our Garnacho of the right wing. Thank you very much, James. I think United will win 2-2, but I've almost gone with 2 scores tonight. I think if we're level at half-time, it'll finish a draw. If we're winning, I'm going to go 2-0. Mark my words, says Eric, Weghorst masterclass. Well, we need a Weghorst goal tonight. He's had no chances created for him in the first 2 games as a Man United player. What I want to see tonight is I want to see him getting chances tonight. That's what I want to see. There is actually some... I've just stood up for a stretch, but there actually is something going on. Pardon my ignorance here, because I don't know what they're standing up for, but I am standing up, so I will stay standing up now. Holocaust Memorial Day, which is the 27th of January. Where do you rank Ronaldo all-time United players, says Joseph? I'd have to do a show on that. In my time, definitely top 5. Yeah. It's Robert Burns night in Scotland, isn't it? That's where I've got my tartan pyjamas on. Scooby-Doo. You know, some Scottish person replied to me saying Scooby-Doo and said, stop doing it. Red rag, bull. I keep doing it if I want to do it. Anyway, someone in my family's Scottish. One of my grandparents, so that's probably why I've got such a good accent when I put it on. Grandad Jimmy. Right, come on, let's get ready to go. Bruno's about to kick it off, and we're off. And the timer's on the screen. Let's go. Fandabby Zorzy. Dion, thank you very much for being a member for 18 months. Right, let's see how this goes. I expect an energetic Nottingham Forest side, and we're going to have to pass the ball well. Ericsson tries to get Rashford in. I worry about Rashford more than I worry about Casemiro injury-wise, you know. I mean, I saw Marcus Rashford put a picture out the other day, and he was in some sort of ice bucket. You know, it was covering his neck, you know, recovery. So he's obviously really focused, Rashford, this year. He's always been focused on his fitness, but I think he's very aware about recuperation. So maybe he's moved past his injury issues. Good play by Anthony there. More direct. I thought Anthony was quite direct against Arsenal as well, to be fair. Just faded in the second half. What player you would like to play for United over the last 10 years, is Alan Noonan? That's a good question, that is. What player would I like to have played for Man United over the last 10 years? I'll tell you what, I'd like to have taken. Here's an outside the box one for you. I'd like to have taken Casemiro 5 years ago, or Varane 5 years ago. But in the last 10 years, a player, I'd like Ronaldo to have stayed. Nice ball in. Bruno's got it in the box. Still got it in the box. Oh, that was a simple pass to Weghorst. Why did he not get that? I'm Scottish and I accept you into our culture, says Megan. Thank you very much. So glad that you're Seb's father and not Jamie Carragher. He would just scream at him for being small, says Ducky. Okay. Great hip movements during that stretch mark. Getting practice in, I see, says Michael T. Cross to the back post, too much. Lively, vibrant start from Manchester United here. I do think Bruno could have played Weghorst in here. He won the tackle on the right-hand side. It's a good run by Bruno. VAR is in play. Bad mistake by the centre-back. Bruno ends up turning him quite well. And then just gets the cross all wrong. Needed to be cut back more. Was it an easy cross for Bruno? Nah, maybe not. Jack says Aberdeen are in a shambles. Aberdeen, I liked Aberdeen. Sensible soccer. Ian Jess, what a player. And also, it's Sir Alex's club. I bet he's fuming about that. Absolutely fuming. Mark, we need you playing holding midfielder in a charity match. I don't know why I don't get asked. You know, remember I've played in the pinnacle of... I managed in the pinnacle of charity football. I was stood on the sideline as a coach. I know the pace of the game. I saw the game. I 100% know I could play CDM at that level. Even at my age, I could play CDM. Piece of piss. I don't know why they won't ask me. Probably fear, but... You can't play if you're not asked. Here's Anthony. Nice ball. Oh, no. It wasn't a good ball. Good start by United, though. Definitely on the front foot. Really important that we do that. I like the way they have the big monitor at Forest as well in the corner. Like, the game is actually on a big screen. That doesn't happen at Old Trafford. And when you're talking about whether you want a new stadium at Old Trafford or renovation, these modern things that Old Trafford lack are quite frustrating. We should have a screen that people can see goals back on, etc. But no, I think United have started off well in the first few minutes because we have to. As I say, if this is a draw at half time, I think we'll fade in the second half. So we've got to get after them in the first half. Quality says, who do you think is the better partner for Martinez, Lindelof or Maguire? Well, Martinez and Lindelof played quite well before the World Cup, and Maguire was on the bench. So I think Maguire plays better with Lindelof than he does with Martinez. And I think Lindelof plays better with Martinez than Maguire does. So that's my thought on it. Is United stand not doing a Scotland date? Says Grant. We've announced 3. There will be some more, but for the moment, we could do a lot more, but it's just hard to do it when United are playing because you just don't know what nights United will be playing in April and May. There is literally no night that you can say we won't play because obviously Premier League do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You could be in the Europa League on Thursdays, but if we're out the Europa League, they might put us on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So we will be doing Birmingham, Hussey. We very nearly did do Birmingham, but we just the venue was too far out from Birmingham, so I said no. Rashford's on the run. Go on, Rashy. Oh, he's done it again. He's world class. He's absolutely world class. They can't deal with him in this place at the moment. He is on another level. Marcus Rashford makes it 1-0. There's probably an element of bad defending from Forest here. There's probably an element of bad goalkeeping. But you've got to be direct, and he is direct.com. Absolutely incredible the form that Marcus Rashford is in at the moment. He's untouchable, and he is quite literally untouchable here. They don't want to touch him. He's like an electric fence. They don't want to get shocked. Literally, Rashford starts in his own half, gets the nitro on. He's got 2 players on him. He skips in between. It does a little bit lucky on the centre back, but once he's through, he's away. Definitely should be defended better. You'd be fuming if someone did this against United, but it's not. You can't take anything away from Rashford. There's 3 or 4 players near him. Keeper should not get beat on the front post, I don't think. But what Rashford does at the moment is he gets those little breaks, he gets those little touches, and he finds the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic start. He's done it again. What a goal. Hammer time. You know, it makes me laugh because there are people out there that think he's doing it for a new contract. The scary thing is that he's making it look easy, says Stephen Rossi. And today's key for looking at those players' mentality. 2 poor results in a row, so I hope we bounce back. P.S. The Scots love you. Come to Edinburgh, says Cammy. And first Veghorst signs for United and next Nottingham Forest face United. This year must have really something for you, says Kanishka. Thank you very much for the super chat. Well, look, I'm really happy that we're 1-0 up. You know, I think we've got to win this first half because I do fear that we might tire in the second half. And we've certainly started. And, you know, one of the best things you can do in a game like this. And here's Anthony. Ooh, I don't rate this keeper. Smile on his face from Anthony, good to see. One of the things you've got to do in a game like this is silence the crowd. You know, they're up for this. It's a massive game for them. We're a big team. And, you know, if you can silence the crowd with an early goal, their whole thing just, you know, loses a bit. A bit of Giggsy-esque versus Arsenal with that run, says the Honest Tiger. What I would say is, for anybody who doesn't understand it, this is why Marcus Rashford's a left winger. He's a forward. Now, you could look at it and say this is why Veghorst doesn't get any service, because Rashford's first intention is to get a shot off. But he's so good, you can't criticise that. But he'd be no good as a number 9. We'd lose so much. Rashford's at his best when he's running at goal. You look at the way Martial and Veghorst play, you very rarely get to turn and run at the defenders. You're playing with your back to goal. This is why Rashford is a left-sided player to me. Should Rashford get the number 7 shirt next season, says Jack? I think if he wants it, you're right. He's got to be considered. Yeah. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Manchester United leading 1-0 here. They've started off really well. And as per usual, it's that man, Marcus Rashford, who we're running out of superlatives for because his compilation of goals this season will be a joy to watch. Like, really, really good goals that he's scoring as well. Stones, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. And of course, for United now, they've got that incentive that keep it 0-0, keep the clean sheet, take at least a 1-0 win back to Old Trafford, and it's half the job done. In fact, it's more than half the job done, isn't it? If you can take a lead from the away tie back to Old Trafford. But look, still early days. Forest really haven't settled so far. They're on the attack now, and we give up a corner. So, fantastic start for Manchester United here. Rashford is an AI, says GJ. Thank you, Ronnie. Who could United sign with Osman in the summer, says Charlie. I think we need to sign a midfielder. Anyway, corner to Forest here. They've not settled at all. It's important that we keep that tempo going, because I think, as many of us say, there is a chance that in the second half we might fall off a little bit with the amount of games we've played. So good to see that, spark and intensity early on to try and get this game won. I desperately want to see Weghorst or Anthony score tonight, or preferably both. Here is Weghorst. That's a lovely weighted ball to Rashford. And, yeah. Southgate is such a prat for playing Sterling over Rashford, says Sebastian. Let's not go back to the World Cup. I mean, Rashford was playing well in that World Cup as well. But lovely ball into Eriksen by Bruno. Cross comes in. Oh, he nearly found Weghorst. Just desperate for that Weghorst chance. I said 2-0 to United, but could be 2-0 in no time. Bruno, good tackle. Good start. Hey, Mark, do you think Rashford will get a hat-trick, says Josh? I don't know. I was trying to logically think that through. If Ollie didn't almost ruin Rashford by overplaying him through injury, and if he was actually developed, how good would he be? It's scary to think, says Brandon. I do think that he lost 2 years because of being overplayed, and I think Martial lost it as well. But the past is the past. I haven't seen Weghorst put a wrong foot wrong yet, says Robert McCormack. I like Weghorst. I think he's limited. It's not his fault. The answer is Nanny Mark, says Niall Miller. I'd love to see him score tonight, because I read that quote out on the morning show from Weghorst, and he knows it's about scoring goals. That's what he's got to do, but he hasn't had any service yet. Which stadium has the best food, says Clinton. I don't normally get food when I go to football, to be honest. Would have loved to go to live shows, but my wife is due to deliver our second daughter in March, says Ian. Well, good luck with that, mate. Weghorst runs like Crouch. There we go. Malacia. The cross. Ooh, I saw what that looked like, a decent cross for a minute. It was good defending by Forest, because Weghorst was there. And I definitely think Ten Hag is forcing the players to try and find Weghorst a little bit more. If we've got rich owners, do you see Mbappe joining United? Says Hasher. I don't think we'll have the money to do that straight away, so no. The man knows football, says Marcus Rashford is the best player in the Premier League. Well, right now, he probably is. Lovely play by Rashford. Go on, Anthony. Come on, this would be a great goal if he scores it. Oh, what a bit of play that was. Rashford, long pass into the feet of Weghorst. Lays it off for Bruno beautifully. Bruno finds Anthony. He's got the space, but he hasn't got the finish. Would have been a lovely goal, that. I've supported Man United since June 1983, says Rory Francis. Who wants Weghorst to score more, him or Mark, says Noah. I just want us to get the second goal, and then I think we can cruise a little bit. That was lovely build-up play by Manchester United, though, and I do agree with Robert. I don't think Weghorst has done a lot wrong based on his ability and his role in the team. His link-up play has been reasonably good. He does work hard. Obviously, he can't have traits that he doesn't have. you know, he can't be super fast or skin players. That's not what he's all about. But I think in relation to what his limitations are, I think he's done well. The one thing we haven't seen from him is what he can do in the box when he gets service, because he's had none. Martinez looks like Garnacho with that headband, says Kenneth. Here's Anthony. Bit more direct. Good to see. Here's Rashford. Lots of ball for the wingers. Rashford trying to get Weghorst in there. It's mad how Casemiro is back and it's instantly noticeable. Love him, who doesn't, says MVP. Well, when Casemiro's in the team, we just boss the midfield. Simple as that, isn't it? What's your score prediction, says Dilsey? I think it'll be 3-0. I said 2-0 before. I said if we were drawing at half time, I think it'll be a draw. But if we're winning at half time, I think we'll win 2-0. So, I mean, obviously, if we're winning 3-0 at half time, that's impossible. That's getting clipped up by David De Gea. It wasn't a good pass. I don't know whether Malacia should have been on his toes, but it should have been a better pass than that. See, I can criticise De Gea's distribution. That wasn't very good. I'll get clipped up for that now as a De Gea hater, which I'm not. The burgers are nice at Portman Road, says Mark. Oh, you know what? There'll be so many United fans in the toilet with the tissue paper clipping that up. Sorry, Mum, I've got to go. I've got to go. Why are you taking your phone with it? I've just got to go. New loophole for the Prem. Use Mars years for your contracts. They're longer, says SK. He should have done better on that pass. I'm not blind. You know, I thought his distribution last year was terrible. I think his distribution this year has been a lot better. He should have done better with that. But I'm not... I don't mind criticising it when it's not good. What I don't like is the obsessive agenda. I don't like anybody who spends time clipping up negative things about players they're meant to support the team of. Like, we get it. You think we should get a new goalkeeper. Why are you spending all this time clipping up clip after clip after clip? You're not the manager. See, Eriksen's just played a bad pass there. Wan-Bissaka won it back. I guarantee you could take any United player on this pitch and find 5 or 6 bad passes and say they're shit, let's sell them. Lee says Weghorst's first touch is brilliant. Why is my hometown team Wigan so bad, says Dilsey? I don't really like Wigan anyway. I only went there once. I went to Wigan Pier. It was boring and it was raining, so my impression of Wigan was not great. Michael's got his tickets for Dublin. Some venue will be there, drink involved. I'll be having a drink. I'm so happy with that venue, right on the Liffey, right in the city centre. Love it. Lindelof looks calm, not rusty at all, says Philip. Yeah, Lindelof settled in quite nice. I mean, he's a steady player, isn't he, Lindelof? I don't like saying steady player because it's that steady Eddie thing. I've noticed our players are arguing more on the pitch lately. What do you think, Mark, says Faris? Well, it's all about communication and demands, isn't it? You know. Mark, are you doing Man City versus Arsenal on Friday, says Leroy. I am actually. I'm really pissed off that United are playing on Saturday night. I mean, we're going to beat Reading unless something mad happens. I would have loved that game to have been 12 o'clock on Saturday and then everyone gets a Saturday night. I think BBC are knobheads. I don't think it's even on BBC. Putting United on at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night against Reading. I'm just like... I think I'm just... apologies about the watch along on Saturday night. I think I'm going to have a few beers. It's sod it. It's a straightforward cup game on a Saturday night. I'm having a few beers. Have you ever been to Wales, Mark? Been to Wales loads, Josh. Holyhead's a bit of a shithole, isn't it? But there are nice areas. I like Rhayader. Aberystwyth was interesting. Favourite cereal? Mine is Trix, says Abdelia. Never heard of it. Shreddies for me. 20 minutes gone. Another corner for Nottingham Forest here. Steady Eddie. Thoughts on Anthony, says Aben. I think he looks a little bit more direct, but, you know, he's got to do a lot more. What do they say? Little steps. Little steps. Jessica says you went to Wigan. Sorry to hear that. Had some great nights out in Wigan in the 90s, says David. There we go. I mean, Wigan might be all right, but I had a dream last night. I was outside that wakey. I didn't go in. I just drove past. I was driving past and I thought this would be a good thing to do. Yeah, it's really weird what you dream about, isn't it? I was dreaming that I was driving past that wakey, and I thought to myself, there's a car parking space there. Get out your car, do an Instagram post going, hello, it's Mark Goldbridge, wakey. Loads of people love that, but I didn't. I drove past. And I thought, why am I dreaming about that? What an irrelevant dream. You didn't even do the thing that would have made it a point, you know, worthwhile dream. Shot from Forest. No, good tackle by Casemiro. Right, here's Rashford. He's going to run. He's fast. And this centre-back won't like it. Look at the progression here. Right the way up the pitch. And it's nearly a lovely... He's definitely worked on his passing angles, Rashford. It was something that, you know, we'd always been... a little bit concerned about, and he's definitely worked on it. Mark, you should consider a tour of South Africa. You'll be surprised by the following United has here once we fix load shedding, says Nathaniel. And I love rain, Mark. Are all Brits allergic to it, or is Aussies just crazy? All the best parts happen in movies when it rains. Helm's Deep, says Jar. No, we just get too much rain in the UK. As a novelty, it would be nice, but as a consistent theme, no. There's Dean Henderson. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. See, I saw Dean Henderson and I instantly thought of wrestling. I am a real American. Oh my God. What sort of knobhead? Oh, I don't even want to say it. I can't be arsed with the backlash. Forest! Bloody hell, they've just scored! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, that is unexpected. Surridge, 1-1. We end up in a situation where it's a 3v2. Wan-Bissaka's out of the pit. It's 3v2. He could be off. You know what? It's a good finish. He might be offside. We might get away with this. I think we are going to get away with it unless that angle's wrong. I think Lindelof might have done a very clever thing here. Let's keep an eye on it. I think this might be offside. It's hard to tell. The goal happens because fullbacks are out of position. He's offside, back of the net, VAR. That's brilliant defending by Lindelof. It really is. It really is brilliant by Lindelof. He knows exactly what he's doing there. They're gutted. It is. I've played the game. Lindelof there is playing the offside. Now, if it doesn't work, but in a 3v2 situation, it wouldn't be his fault anyway. There's a red shirt to the right, there's a red shirt to the left, and there's one coming down the middle. Lindelof and Martinez are perfectly positioned, and Forest should score from there. In a training ground routine, you should score 3 against 2. Lindelof and Martinez hold their line and split. You know someone's going to get a shot if he doesn't pass early and he passes late, and that gives them the opportunity to get the offline. Very, very good play by Lindelof and Martinez, but especially Lindelof because he's holding that line. There's not a lot you can do in that situation for De Gea or Martinez or Lindelof. You're in a 3v2 and they're the favourites to get a shot off. All you can do is try and get the offside or, hope that they miss the shot. Crap pass by Rashford started it, says Kenneth. I mean, you're going to get caught like that. The fullbacks have gone forward. That's what we're trying to do. And we've ended up in a 3v2. But give Lindelof some credit there. That, watching it back, he is definitely playing the offside. Hope my Spurs get both Pura and Zaniola, then top 4 races on, says Matt. Be very interesting, I don't really want to spend time talking about that because this game's very interesting. But I got my Manchester is red jumper. I love it, says Leroy. Talks football. Yeah, very nice. They are very nice, actually. Great job, Lindelof, says RC10. But obviously we've got a massive game on our hands here, but there is less than a week left of the transfer window. And when you look, that's not so good by Lindelof. Brilliant by Martinez, but the cross came in. All the praise for Lindelof, and he nearly bloody threw it in our faces there. Cross came in, got stuck under his feet, and I think if the Forest player, I think it was Gibbs White, Lindelof's got to deal with that, gets stuck under his feet. Brave by Martinez that time though, but that could have been a goal. We're giving Forest chances here. We've got to get our groove on. But yeah, going back to what you're saying about Spurs there, Arsenal doing business, Chelsea doing business, Liverpool doing business. Spurs are now doing business. United not really doing business, and the warning is Spurs aren't in a terrible position. If they bring a couple of players in and solve their squad depth problems, it's like Kulusevski and Bentancur last year. Could be important. Good punch by De Gea. Good save by De Gea. I mean, you'd expect him to punch in it. You expect him to save it, but yeah, standard. It could be important for Spurs to bring 2 players in. Bruno's been very sloppy with the ball, but moans at everyone else if they play a sloppy pass, says Anthony. And Mark, are you dreading Lingard coming on in the second half? Exciting youth product, says Robert. I've heard about this Lingard. Is he a youth product of us or them? Lee Berman says we've taken the lead and become complacent again. We've got to get the second goal. Here's Rashford. Go on, pass it. No. That's got to go to Bruno Marcus. Corner though. I told you, it's an interesting game. It could have been 1-1. They've had a couple of shots in the last few minutes. Neil, thank you. You're a legend. He's just gifted 5 memberships. Remember, if you are a member, the ticket link is there for you. On Friday, we're putting it out publicly for the tour. United have lost concentration, says Darren. Yeah, legend. Sally's done it. Neil's done it as well. And Casemiro and Martinez mentally defines a Man United player for me. Not saying others don't, but they have brilliant attitudes on the pitch and training, says Nick97. Here's the corner from Ericsson. Bruno, blocked. Well, they've gone long here, but Wan-Bissaka should get that. Brennan Johnson straight at De Gea. Wow, he's fast, isn't he? That Johnson's fast. I'm shocked here. I thought Wan-Bissaka's going to win this race. Look at that. Gets the burners on, and Wan-Bissaka was in a bit of trouble. Tell you what, he had a cutback as well. Thoughts on Brent Preston North End. Also going to my first Prem game, Tottenham City on February the 4th. Predicting for that game, City will get beat, Oliver. Welcome to Members Club, JB and Mark. Some of our defenders watch the ball coming in instead of the attacker in space, thought, says Eden. Well, at the moment, we are on the back foot. We've become a little bit of a counter-attacking team, haven't we? Which, we are 1-0 up. Might be a tactical thing. Got to be a little bit careful. Alfie, thank you very much. Welcome to Members Club. I don't think we're lucky to be 1-0 up. It was offside. And Lindelof played... United aren't lucky to be 1-0 up. It's 1-0 because it's 1-0. And Lindelof played for the offside. So there's no luck about it. I hate it when people say that. You're very lucky. It's not lucky. He played for the offside and it was offside. If he plays for it and it's not offside, he's got it wrong. Give him credit. I played the game. Ice water with sneak. Got to go for it in this leg, says David. It's important we win this game. Hi Mark, how is it that when United wants to buy a player, all they want is Champions League football, but will happily go to Spurs, Chelsea or Liverpool, says Omka. Yeah, but a lot of that's spin, isn't it? That's United not wanting to buy a player or missing out on a player, and then they'll make the excuse that it's about Champions League. It's not always about that, is it? As you've quite rightly said. Here's Rashford down the left-hand side. Got to play the pass there. Malacia. See, that pass from Rashford wasn't good because he put it onto Malacia's right foot. And if he'd played it, rolled it onto his left foot, he could whip the cross in straight away. And that's where we miss out on opportunities to provide chances for Weghorst, because Rashford's done good work. All he's got to do is roll it back for Malacia on his left foot, first time cross. But he angles it to his right foot and then he can't cross it. And then Weghorst never even gets across. Gibbs White. Brennan Johnson skips past and then... Oh, what a run! Tell you what, he looks lively, that Johnson, doesn't he? Past Ericsson, past Martinez. You're never going to beat De Gea from there, but... He'll be getting snapped up by a bigger club soon. Where's he going? Where's Brennan Johnson going? It's an interesting one, isn't it? I don't think he'll come to United. I can see him going to somewhere like Villa. I can see him going to Villa. Hi Mark, love the show. Could you give my daughter Isabel a shout out as she always watches with me, says Mike. Shout out to Isabel. Hope you're enjoying the game. Good play by Weghorst again. Look, good hold up play. It's crazy to think Lingard and Casemiro are the same age, says Luke. What's the best way to get home tickets, Mark? Live down south and want to go, says Alfie. Alfie Drogba, welcome to Members Club. The tickets for... Oh, Anthony! Ow! He's missed it. He's bloody missed it. He's one-on-one. I'm ready to leap and spin. He's bloody missed it. Rory says, I like horse racing, as does Sir Alex Ferguson. What about you, Mark? Do you like to gamble on big horse races like the Cheltenham Cup? No. Short answer. Fair play if you do. That's a lovely ball by Ericsson into Bruno. Defender did well. I'd like to see that Anthony chance again. The game is getting quite stretched. They're in down the left-hand side here again. He's up against Lindelof. And Casemiro with the block. Well done. Anthony keeps it in. Oh, that was a risky pass by Anthony. Can we see the chance for Anthony again, please? Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the United stand. Johnson is giving Malacia nightmares. Let's give it to Mikey. Who's Johnson? Looks lively, Mark. Tom. I know what you're on about. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's having a bad game, says Pyro. Playing a lot of football, though. Gary says he can smell an upset here. I just think we need to... It's as I said, you've got to get it won in the first half, because I think we will get tired. Unfortunately, it looks like we're getting a bit tired early on. Oh, another cross tried by Bruno, but they just can't get the quality crosses in for Weghorst at the moment. That's a free kick. On the home tickets question, I know they went out for Barcelona, didn't they? And they were gone in no time. So, I mean, it's a high demand game that. You can get... I think you can get home tickets through United. Like, you can get packages and all sorts. It just depends what game. You're going to struggle. Yeah, Anthony should have scored that. It's lovely play. I mean, he sort of starts the move. It's a lovely little bit of play between Weghorst and Bruno and Anthony. Really good football. We literally never crossed the ball to our 6'6" striker, and people wonder why he hasn't had a chance. Stuart Walker, fair play. Good point, well made. I love your videos, Goldbridge. Best pundit around, says Alfie. Thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Forrester on the attack here. Cross comes in. Ooh, beat Lindelof again. But I think it was Martinez again. Right, here's Anthony. Bit of space in front of him. That's it. Nice ball. Weghorst. Into Bruno. What pass was that, Bruno? Picked it up. Div, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Back into Rashford. Ooh, goal kick. We need the second goal, says Kevin. Josh says he's sick of Anthony. Why? What's he done? Let's have a look at the stats here. Good from Man United, look. Nearly 70% possession. Doesn't feel like that, but a lot of possession for United. Both had the same amount of shots on target. You know what that says to me? We probably won't have as much possession in the second half. Let's do something with this possession. The goals will come for Anthony. Really back and forth game. It's good. It's a good cup tie, Noir. I mean, look, at Old Trafford, you'd expect us to win. So as long as we can... I mean, 2-0 would be perfect. You can really rotate against Reading and Forest second leg then. Their chance is this game. Hello, Mark from Singapore. It's 4:30 here, says Norman. Hope you're enjoying it. At least it's a back and forth game, like someone said. Start, bench, sell, Rashford, Saka, Foden. Well, I'm biased, so I'm starting Rashford. I'm benching Saka, and I'm selling Foden. Sorry. This game is stretched and made for Garnacho, says Mark. I think Garnacho would be useful in a game like this, but second half. We're somehow losing the midfield, says Robert McCormack. And thoughts on Juve, Mark. Also don't know if the Premier League has avoided such situations in the past, says Ignacio. I think Italian football, stereotypically, has always had these issues where they sort of push the boundary a little bit. That's not to say that clubs in the Premier League aren't doing it. It might just not have been found out yet. But, yeah, it's a shame that Juventus keep having these issues. There's Sir Alex with a smile on his face. Sat next to Richard Arnold again. Must be mates with Richard Arnold. Abhishek, welcome to the Members Club. Vaz says, getting in a guy like Weghorst and not providing him service and then blame him not scoring is hypocrisy. I hope we are above it, says Vaz. I think there's a lot of... Generally, I think there's a lot of support for Weghorst. You know, I really want him to score. I agree that he's played 2.5 games and he still hasn't had a chance. Good tackle. That's surely a foul on Casemiro. Referee says play on. Martinez won't be beaten. They're still on the attack. Can't Juventus still qualify for the Champions League, although through winning the Coppa Italia, says Mike? I don't know. Don't know how it works. Abhishek, welcome to Members Club. Anthony, got it on the far side. Little pass to Wan-Bissaka. Ooh, And that goes for a goal kick. Hi, Gemma. Hope you're well. Bruno's been awful, says Nikki. The amount of time Bruno gives the ball away is lamentable, says Frank. Don't think it's been one of Bruno's best games. I'll be logically fair about that. Interesting point from Robert McCormack. How are we losing the midfield battle? I don't think we're losing it in the Casemiro area. I think we're losing it with the runners from the midfield. Richard is Sir Alex's chauffeur, says David. And Mikey, Adara and Cam Tarano say hi. Trippy, says the Riot Sessions. And playing a bad long ball from midfield to 5 players up top and wonder how we're continuously countered. Need to build it up more, says Caleb. And do you think there is anyone who has watched more United games in person than Sir Alex, says Luke? It's a very good question. I mean, Sir Bobby must have seen quite a few. I know he doesn't get to many games now, but Adam Johnson is good. United next, says Marden. Adam Johnson. Brennan Johnson. The positive is that so far, apart from the offside goal, we've limited them to shots from distance. Weghorst needs to think of himself as a wall so players can bounce passes off him. He's been caught out, not being alert a few times, dropping too deep, says Red Devils. And last time we saw Arnold and Sir Alex sitting next to each other, we were 1-0 up against Arsenal, and we know what happened there, says Jack. Are we playing a high line? There is so much space in the midfield. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's getting caught out every time, says Surish. I mean, we are playing a high line because the fullbacks, I mean, look at Wan-Bissaka's basically on the right wing. There is a lot of space we're leaving. If the attack breaks down, that's why we're putting ourselves in positions where it could be a 3-on-2. I mean, look at that. Eriksson is closer to Lindelof and Martinez than Wan-Bissaka and Malacia by a very long way. Nice play by Weghorst. Here we go. Get the cross in. Anthony. 4 minutes to half time. Eric says Wan-Bissaka looks tired. No, static. And Scott says Aaron Wan-Bissaka looks tired. Say what you want, Eriksson defensively, but he's been influential. Many times we've struggled to control and Eriksson has brought us up the pitch easy, says Dear. Exactly. That's the strength of Eriksson. He provides you with the ability to link the attack with the midfield and the defence with the midfield. I think the question mark becomes, next season, do you want to play Casemiro, Eriksson and Bruno, or do you want to play Casemiro and Enzo Fernandez type and Eriksson or Bruno? And I think that's a topic for next season because we won't have the option this season, but I think it's an intelligent conversation how we evolve our midfield. Casemiro's got to play, but do you keep Eriksson in that number 8 role, or do you want Eriksson to play further forward? Because Eriksson as a number 10 is more like Odegaard. Well, here's a mistake at the back. Goal kick. And it was Bruno. Take Andre Kanchelskis over Anthony all day long, says Mason. Yeah, look, I mean, there's a bit of criticism for Bruno. There's a bit of criticism for Wan-Bissaka, but look at the volume of football they're playing. The great advantage Rashford's got is he scores goals. You take that goal off Rashford, has his performance been that good? But the goal, he's delivered. He's delivered what he's there to do. Every ball in the final third has been garbage, says Corey. We're not going to play well every single game when we're playing this many games. Sometimes it's about, getting through games and getting results. And at the moment, we are winning 1-0. Bingo says Bruno looks knackered. He definitely needs a rest. Well, there is no rotational player for Bruno as well. The Donny van der Beek season ender is a killer, which is why hopefully we're looking at an attacking midfielder. The Bandit says Bruno's trying too hard as well. Here he is. Into Eriksson. back to Bruno. Might be worth a shot, Bruno. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. He had a shot. We need an understudy to Casemiro and either Frankie de Jong, Bellingham in the summer, says Hasha. Doesn't look overly happy, does he? I think that you know, I put a tweet out about Weghorst saying, look, it's 2.5 games and he's had no service. You've got to cut the guy some slack. You know, not scoring goal. Good shot. Yes! Weghorst! Get it in! Get it in! He follows it in. Anthony shoots. Weghorst scores. It's time for this.
Weghorst? I've never heard... That's not even a real name. Woot Weghorst. You belong on a Harry Potter film. Bullshit. I've never heard of you in my bloody life. I'm losing to a Harry Potter character.
Get in! Get in! We've been waiting to do that for a while. Yes, love it, love it, absolutely love it. So pleased for him to score because this is something we haven't seen yet. He's good in and about the penalty box. Lovely ball by Casemiro. Anthony with the shot. He follows it in and that's what he can do. He's a penalty box striker and we just haven't seen it. You look at his record against Wolfsburg and for Besiktas. He's really good in and about the box. But you've got to give him the opportunities in and about the box. That's what it's all about. One chance, one goal. Simple as that. Feed him. Feed him. That's what it's all about. Really pleased for the lad. Really pleased for him because he knows himself he's going to be judged on goals. Come on. That's football. That's what being a striker's all about. Following it in and finishing it. Great time to score right before half time. 2-0. Bit of a buffer. You know, this has been an ideal half for Manchester United. We've had to battle. We've not been brilliant at times, but we've got those 2 goals. It's what big teams do when they go away to hostile grounds. You know you're going to have to weather a bit of a storm. You know the crowd's against you. You know it's going to be energetic. And it's like a boxer that doesn't want to really get into a scrap. So you just keep your guard up and then you throw a couple of classy punches and they can't respond. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So pleased for him as well. We wanted that. We were talking about that before the game. And I'm just so glad that as Rashford goes on to give him a bit of praise, I'm just so glad that he's got that first goal. And look, let's not beat about the bush here. There are positives in there. Let's get the stats up. Give us your thoughts on the half, everybody. But let's get the stats up here, and let me just pause it on that. But there are positives from that half, not only because we've seen Wout Weghorst score his first goal for Manchester United, but there are also positives in the sense that, you know, people might not want to acknowledge it. I've been saying this for a while now. You're not going to go from I'm not happy with Anthony to oh my God, he's one of the best players in Europe. But there is definitely, I saw it in the first half against Arsenal, and I've seen it in the first half against Forest. Anthony is getting better. It's not a steep incline, but he is definitely getting better. And, you know, that was a good shot. Keepers had to parry it, and Weghorst is in there. And that's the thing about being a striker. People think that service is, you know, playing them through one-on-one, putting a cross on their head. That is service. But service is also doing things that create that ball to be in the box for him to pounce. And that was just a striker's instinct to follow that in. He won't mind that. that's still service because it's something that creates him with a chance. So it was good play by Anthony. I mean, Anthony should have scored. Let's not forget. Anthony into Weghorst, into Bruno, into Anthony. He should have scored as well. So we've had the 3 biggest chances in the game and we've taken 2 of them. So 2-0 up. It's clinical. It's professional. And it's put us in a very, very strong position. I don't think we could ask for a better half as well. Their offside was offside because Lindelof played a very good line. It's been a very good half from Manchester United and all the right things are happening. You know, Anthony has a part to play in the goal. Weghorst gets his first goal. 2-0 up in a Carabao Cup semi-final away from home. Second legs at Old Trafford. See this out in the second half. Got a couple of games there where you can rotate a lot. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's a very professional job from United. We just need to make sure that we don't fade in the second half. But the big positives for me are definitely about Weghorst scoring. That's got something off his back now. You know, he's not, you know, he mentioned it in his interview. I'll be judged on goals. 2.5 games, no service. Right at the end of the half, there's the chance. I'll take it. And what he's shown everybody is that we're in that mindset now where he's in that same place that Cavani was in, that Ronaldo was in, that Martial was in. There's almost sympathy that you're in the graveyard shift, that you're not getting the service. And now, because he's took that chance, his first big chance, we're all going, well, look, it's not his fault if he's not getting the service. If he doesn't score for the next 3 games, we'll probably be going, well, he's not had any service. It's not his fault. Give him service. So, look, real insight of what he can do. How do you think Sancho will do when he returns, says Dead Zone? Well, look, let's not label it. Let's not put a ring on it. Let's just see. Manka, welcome to the Members Club. Ericsson and Bruno aren't on the same page today, says Dan. Max, well, thank you very much for gifting 5 United Stand memberships. You are a legend, Max. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, that clip of me talking about Weghorst, I just did it for a laugh. It's 4 years old. I didn't know who he was. I think Wout's worth another year as a backup to our new striker as they get acquainted, says Joel. I think that's, you know what, Joel? I'm just going to have a stretch here. I think that's something that Wout Weghorst is aware about and is aspiring to. I don't think he thinks if he scores 5 goals or 10 goals, he will be our starting striker next season. That's not the evolution of this team. He's only here because the club didn't back Ten Hag with a Gakpo or a João Felix. So Ten Hag said, look, if we're going cheap, this is a player I would recommend. So Weghorst's aim is to stay at Man United. And if he stays at Man United, he knows that role will probably be bench striker, you know, part-time player, etc. And of course you're going to be happy with that. Hi, Mark. I just bought tickets to the London show. Can't wait. Any special guests, says Cesar. You'll have to wait and see. Am I not special enough? And Lewis, welcome to the Members Club. And Quinn Holmes, welcome to the Members Club as well. The difference with Casemiro, says, in our lineup versus McTominay is absolutely night and day. We need more quality depth in the midfield for next season. Exactly. I agree with that. And Tomo says, couple of trophies coming our way, Mark. Come on, United. As always, love the channel. Play the clip again for all us members, says Tomo. And Mark, one of my friends said, what is the point of Weghorst? I replied, I'm not sure. Ask your wife. Is that a good roast? Love you, by the way. Keep it up, sister. You what? What's the point of Weghorst, my mate said. So I replied, I'm not sure. Ask your wife. Oh, God. Ooh. Welcome to Members Club, Jesus. And Anthony put a ball into the box with his right foot too. He's getting better. They always have to have a scapegoat. Leave the boy alone, says Mandy. Well, I think positive is the new negative, isn't it, Mandy? We still get called negative and toxic on this community, and yet I don't know who we're meant to be negative and toxic towards. I don't, you know, I'm not clipping up David De Gea or Anthony or anything like that. Ericsson has been sluggish since the Arsenal game, and I hope Ten Hag puts him on the bench for a bit. I would rather see Fred on because the pace in the midfield is needed, says Mohammed. Look, it's a good half from Man United, that is. Really, really good half, and I'm very happy with it. Let's have a look at the stats. So we've had 67% possession, which is really good. Shots on target, 4 to their 2. More than double the passes they've had. 89% accuracy to 79%. I mean, that's a good half from Man United. And yet, in a really good half, we still feel that we could have been better. And I think, you know, we're probably right. But I'd be very happy if that was full time. If we can go through the motions in the second half and maybe grab another goal, make it 3-0, I'd be very... It's tie over. Tie over. And then Reading is straightforward on Saturday. Forest would be straightforward in the second leg. You really can play Maguire, McTominay, you know, put Heaton in goal or Butland. You can really rotate. Liam says, what did you do in Holyhead? Well, basically, I used to get the ferry from Holyhead to Dublin, Dunleary. So I only ever used to be in Holyhead for a little bit waiting for the ferry. But one night I missed the last train. So they put us up in a B&B and I had a night out in Holyhead, which was a bit scary, but it was all right. Get him a new contract, whatever he wants, just sign him as he knows the club, says Rio. Says Boz. And is £150 a ticket the going rate to games like Brentford at home, says Alfie. I don't know. Rashford's goals recently have been fire, says Brock. And we need to support Anthony. He has potential, says Matthias. I agree. Garnacho, second half, masterclass, Pajama Bridge, says Toby. Ericsson does need a rest, says Carlos. Our possession is holding the ball in our half, says Andre. And I'm not comparing the two, says Lee Berman, but how many goals did we see Van Nistelrooy score like that? A proper poacher in the box, says Lee. Well, look, I think Weghorst to some people is a bit of an unknown quantity, but when we were interested in him, I and probably many of you, you do your research, and the two things, I did it on the members section actually, we did a video, so anyone who watched it, you know, the deep dive into Weghorst stats, I put it up on the members section. And the two things that stood out about Weghorst that he's really good at are, you know, relentless work rate. Excuse me. Relentless work rates from the front. You know, he's a pressing striker. That's one thing he's really good at. And the second thing he's really good at is scoring goals in the penalty box. So he's a pressing monster and he's a penalty box striker. We've seen the pressing. We've seen some quite good link-up play, but we haven't seen what he can do in the box because we haven't provided him with any service. And funnily enough, we still haven't. His first goal is a rebound from a shot somebody else took. But that is a hint of what he can do in the box. If I'm Bruno and I'm Rashford and I'm Anthony and I'm Ericsson, I'm taking that and I'm going, yeah, I need to find this guy some service because he's pretty good. Pretty good at finishing. And stats don't lie in relation to goals scored. He's scored a lot of goals in the Bundesliga. He scored a lot of goals in Turkey. And, you know, he's done it at international level. He'll score your goals if you give him a chance. Kyle, thank you very much for the super chat there. Mark, do you think Man United can beat Newcastle in the final? I'm curious as users. Well, we're not there yet. I think United at the moment playing Newcastle, it'll be a difficult game because, you know, Martial's not fit. We don't have a lot on the bench. I think Newcastle will give us a game, but I'd fancy us as favourites. I think we've got to be the favourites now. Mark, the fans want to see strict penalties from you. No, they don't, Froggy. Any of the old Flames going to the event in Dublin? Says Rory. What are you talking about? Weghorst is class, but the number 9 graveyard shift is terrifying, says Sultan. And Vaz says, Vaz has gifted 5 United Stand memberships. Thank you very much to Vaz. Just a reminder, the United Stand is going on tour in the international break in March. We're in Dublin, we're in Manchester, and we're in London. Live shows. Really excited about it. Tickets go on general sale on Friday. However, if you're a member of this channel, you can get early access to those tickets. So go to the community tab on the homepage. If you're a member, you'll see the post with the early access to those tickets. Can't wait to see you if you're going to be there. Really excited about it. Mark, do you think Paqueta can be in the Ericsson role, says Richard? Well, he plays for West Ham at the moment. I think he's going to go anywhere. Leo J says, on defence of Sancho, the word is patience. Please give out service. He will get goals. Anthony needs time as well, says Leo J. It's exciting, isn't it, that Manchester United are doing so well. And yet, there are some real patient development players that we need to be patient about. Top 3 left wing, right wing and strikers in the league, says Marden. Top 3 strikers in the league. Well, Haaland's in there. Kane's in there. And for me, I'd probably go Mitrovic or Tony. Yeah. Left wingers, you've got to put Rashford in there. I think when he's fit, Diaz at Liverpool. I mean, look, the interesting... Look, we're turning into that's football here, but the interesting thing is, would you put Son and Salah in there this season? Probably not, even though you know they're brilliant. Welcome to the Members Club, Adam Locke. Thank you very much for that. So, would you make any changes in the second half, Mark, is the next question. To which the answer has to be... it's a dangerous game. 2-0 away from home can be dangerous. We've had a really good first half. And I suppose the question is... If you can't make 4 changes at half time when you're away from home. If they get 1 goal, the crowd changes, suddenly things can go wrong. I think you've got to stabilise for 20 minutes and try and get the 3rd goal, and then you make changes. So I would stick as we are until at least the 65th minute. He will desperately want to make changes, of course he will, but it's still precarious. You know, one goal for them, deflected or deserved, and it changes the way the game's going. Reckless says, come on tour to USA. Well, we're already looking at that because we're going to be hopefully going on tour when United go on tour in July. So obviously we'll be out there for a couple of weeks. So we would hope to arrange, 2 or 3 nights where we can do some stuff over there. So yeah, that's the idea behind that. Welcome to the Members Club, Adam and Presley. Thank you very much for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Second half will be starting in a moment. We're only 10 subscribers away from 566,000, by the way. Thanks, everyone. The problem we have on the bench is that we just don't have that many options, do we? I wish we did have more, but we just don't seem to have that. Well, we just don't have the options, and I think we all know why that is. We don't have the options because we don't have the players. Hopefully, we will see Jadon Sancho back involved very, very soon. Hopefully, we'll see Martial and Dalot back very, very soon because those 3 players would strengthen the bench, whether they go straight back into the first team or whether they go into the straight into the first team or onto the bench. Hi from Thailand, says Luke, says Jar, thank you very much. We're having the super chat here. Mark, will you be live streaming the live tour shows? I don't think we'll be live streaming them, Mark. There might be some content from it, but the whole point of it is it's live. Mark, consider for the people who attend. Mark, considering Everton's crisis, will you take Calvert-Lewin to United? No, Amit, wash your mouth out and your fingers for typing that filth. I don't want Calvert-Lewin anywhere near Manchester United. I mean, I don't even remember whether Calvert-Lewin's any good because he's always bloody injured. No way. I don't want to take a risk on any player that's got an injury problem. I hope you don't wear that jumper in Dublin. Would be worried for your safety on the town, says Rory C. I think I'd be all right in this jumper in Dublin because it's actually got something on the back, which is... I don't know whether you can see it. It's a Steve McQueen jumper. Everyone loves Steve McQueen. Anthony is a much better... It's to do with Le Mans. It's Steve McQueen, 1964. Anthony is much better player with Dalot, plays with him. Dalot provides him proper overlap and allows Anthony space to invert. Anthony, you are also very, very intelligent. Well done. And my fish are being weird, says Harry Lone. GSS hates Steve McQueen. Okay. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping on these fantastic Lawnmower 4.0s. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Or you can go through the link in the description. Make sure you use the code UnitedStand. These will change your life in a very positive way. Trust me. Links in the description. It's a ball trimmer, really. Gets rid of everything down there and makes a big improvement. I don't know what I was doing until I started using that. Just looks ridiculous when you let it grow. Is it time to call him Wout the workhorse now, says Bjarni. It's time to call him Wout Weghorst, who's got his first goal for United and can hopefully get a few more. Right, we're about to start the second half here. Is there a way back for Forest or can United get the 3rd goal and kill this tie? Let's wait and see. Second half is about to kick off. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Don't forget, in the second half, we'll have player ratings where you can vote for every player. Out of 10, 6 being the average, Starfy the man of the match. We're up and running in the second half, and obviously we will go through those player ratings in my match reaction straight after the game, where they're aggregated by you. Don't worry, you won't be getting an email like Samuel Luckhurst. He got an email the other night from a United player's family member about his player ratings. You won't be getting emails from your player ratings because it's a better player rating system, where it's aggregated over thousands of people. I said 2-0 was my score prediction. Zaniola is available for 30 million. Would you take him if only we had new owners, says Matt Rowlands. Well, I got into a lot of stick. I said that Leeds were after McKennie. Forest have got a corner here. Let's wait and see what happens. We've cleared it. Christian says, Sports Bible released an article stating that United fans want Lindelof off for a bad first half. I don't think he was that bad. Thoughts? Mate, we'd be 2-1. We'd have conceded a goal if it wasn't for Lindelof, because that finish was unstoppable. You know, say what you like about Lindelof, but he played the offside and it worked in a situation where it's 3v2. I thought it was good defending. He's been a bit dodgy on a few crosses. I'd probably give him a 6, but ever been down to Devon, Mark? In particular, Torquay, says Alistair. I was in Devon last summer. Where did I stay? In Devon. Forgot the name of it already. Appledore. I didn't stay in Appledore. I stayed close to Appledore. It was very nice. Yeah, I liked it. I put a tweet out last night saying that Leeds... Hold on. Here's Anthony. Slip him in. Back into Weghorst. This could be number 2. Oh, I thought he was going to score. Well, there you go. You've had 2 chances in a United shirt, Weghorst, now. He's had 2 chances in a United shirt now. And I thought he was going to score again. Rating 20 for Vuti, says Vaz. It's not an easy chance to take. Defender's always going to be favourite to put the block in. But nice to see him getting a few chances now. Speaking of Manscaped, did you ever have a pint out in Goldbridge in Dublin where Aviva and Lansdowne Road is, says Rory? Yeah, I think I worked out there a little bit. Westwood Ho, that's where I went, Gary. I knew it began with a W. Nice. I normally go Cornwall. Yeah, anyway, let me tell you the story. Last night I put a tweet out saying Leeds want Weston McKennie. Why aren't United doing that? I've got a load of prats in my chat saying if you've seen Weston McKennie, you'd know he's not United quality. And I thought, I'm not replying to you, but it's very obvious if you watch our content what I mean. I'm not saying Weston McKennie is the answer to our prayers, but in January he'd be a welcome addition. I'm talking about January players. Wout Weghorst isn't everybody's pick to be our star striker. He's somebody who comes in and gives us an option with limited funds. Weston McKennie would be a good player to bring in January to boost our options. I'm not saying he's going to bench Eriksen. We just need somebody to come in. Can I get a sunshine, Gary Neville? Anthony's improving. He just needs to learn how to shake off his marker, says Michael. I think he is improving, and I think he will end up being a good player. Steve, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Maynard says Long John Silver was more right-footed than Anthony. And Charles, same joke. Tim says, I'm sorry to say that Weghorst has 0 pace. You don't need to apologise, mate, because that's not something that he had. You know, anybody who knew we were getting Weghorst, even himself, even Ten Hag, they know he's got no pace. You can't judge him on pace when he hasn't got any. He was never going to have any. It's not part of his game. My grandma has got a crush on you. Can you say hi? Says Ollie the goat. Yeah, not many tall players do have great pace. I mean, Haaland, obviously. Like Marvin says, Giroud's got no pace, and we were looking at Giroud as well. It's a good observation there by Marvin as well. When you look at why Ten Hag went for Weghorst, he was interested in Giroud, so he was obviously looking for that type of striker. I think he's looking for 2 strikers, to be honest. I think he wants a tall striker like Weghorst or Giroud. And I think he wants a mobile striker like Martial, which he doesn't have. He's never bloody fit. I spied the hair there. Hi, Mark, says Job and Mike. Hi. We couldn't get Giroud, mate. Job says we should have got Giroud. We couldn't get him. Milan didn't want to do the deal. Oh, let me start the stats carousel. Don't forget our stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. All your latest stats, breaking news, football transfer news. Download it for free with the QR code in the top right-hand corner or through the link in the description. It's free on Apple and Android. Get all your football news and stats on there. Triggered Salt says, slow sports news. Weghorst has no pace. Well, United have started off this second half quite well. I think get the 3rd goal, kill the game. Ooh, good cross. Oh, Bruno on his left foot. Wild. That belongs in the jungle. Because it's wild. Wild effort by Bruno there. Could have gone for a throw-in. Young, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Morpheus says, I'm so happy that Anthony and Weghorst are playing and improving. It's nice to see. Do you want Jesse Lingard back at United, says Ollie the GOAT? No. And is Wout Weghorst a Dutch Peter Crouch, says Abhishek? Well, if he is a Dutch Peter Crouch, it's not a bad thing. Here we go. Good play, Lindelof there. Brennan Johnson fought him off. Peter Crouch scored a lot of goals. I don't think he's the Dutch Peter Crouch because I think he's more agile than Peter Crouch. Peter Crouch was quite static. I think Weghorst is a little bit more agile in his body movement. I don't think... I can see, obviously, there are similarities there in the way, you know, he's very, very, very tall and he lays it off, but he did all right. Peter Crouch played for Liverpool, didn't he? Good tackle there. Oh, no, Eriksen's lost it. Who's your dream striker for United and why, says Matt Cannon. Matt, my dream striker for Manchester United is Victor Osimhen. He's young, he's quick, he's physical, he scores lots of goals. I think he's the modern striker that can evolve and go to the next level at Manchester United and also take us to the next level at Manchester United. I don't want Harry Kane because I don't think he takes us to the next level. I think he's going to be on the decline soon. He's going to be 30. And I think there may be injuries to come as he gets older. For me, the long-term investment is Osimhen. Mark, if you could sign one Argentinian who wasn't in the World Cup squad, who would it be? Says Young. And Bruno might be jaded, says Sage. I don't know. I can't think of any Argentinians. Everyone I can think of is in the World Cup squad. Eriksen. Oh, what? You're joking. You're bloody joking. How many times is Eriksen going to nearly put it in the top corner and it not go in? He's just bent it into the top corner and hit the uprights. What a goal that would have been. Again. Rashford. He shoots. How unlucky is Eriksen here? Is it me or has Bruno's first touch been awful, says Skids. Watch this shot by Eriksen. It's delightful. Oh, you know if that had gone in, because of the way he hits it, nonchalantly curling it away from the goal. Oh, that would have been world class by Eriksen. It really would. And he's been close a few times. Really unlucky. And it's not the first time that's happened in recent weeks. And what a way that would have been to confirm our place in the final. Because they ain't coming back from 3-0. Jim Bob, welcome to the Members Club. Is it the Jim Bob from Twitch? We don't know. Football Edit says any news on Delo? Not as far as I'm aware. We're playing really well in the second half, actually. Forest have been shit. I think Ten Hag has said to them, do not drop off like you did against Crystal Palace and Arsenal. I think Rashford's just got one in the nuts there. He has gone down, Rashford, but I think it was an impact in the nuts. I don't think it's anything serious. Mark, would you take Ben Yedder at United? Says Len. I didn't know he was still playing. Well away by Martinez. And a shot straight at De Gea. No, he's all right, Rashford. He just got caught in the ribs. I told you it was an impact. It's nothing to worry about. It's not even in the nuts. Nah, he's fine. Just an impact in the rib. He's fine. He's going to get injured at some point. Getting hit in the nuts is very serious, but apart from being excruciating for a couple of hours, it won't keep you out from the next game. I've told this story before. I was on trial at Northampton Town, and in the first 5 minutes, I got right back was out of position. Yeah, right back's out of position. I'm playing centre back. Their left winger's about to smack a shot. I sprint across, dive across like that to block it. And I did block it. It was brilliant block. But the block, it was one ball hitting two. Let's just say that. I think the impact sent him up into my ears. I was in tears. I was 15, I was in tears. And I looked over to the touchline. And I said, I want to come off. I'm finished. And I got glared at by a family member who said, we've not driven you all this way for you to come off after 5 minutes. So needless to say, I didn't get in because I was just like, all I could think about is I want to go to bed. You're going to get decked by Joel Linton in the final, says Harry O'Kane. Rashford's coming off. He's all right. Come over to India, Mark. We'll get you nice home food and real strong beer. Can't wait to go to India, Vaz. I hear lots of stories about your food. And your beer. I made a right balls of that trial. You're right. I'll give you the credit there, Magic. Trust me, all I wanted to do to go to bed was go to sleep. I wouldn't have been doing anything else. Them boys were bruised for a couple of days. Thomas, welcome to the Members Club. Yeah, United are doing well here. We've already had 15 minutes of the second half. This is good because the second half is progressing. Bruno, while it was difficult to take over the shoulder, I think he tried to cut it back and he probably should have gone for the shot. Not quite been Bruno's night. No, it was difficult. I think he did the right thing. Been a bit moany, Bruno, tonight, but he is the captain. You can't moan at Bruno for moaning at players when he is the captain. I think people forget about that. You dodged the bullet at Northampton, says Rich. The team I wanted to get trials for, and I nearly got trials for, was Sheffield Wednesday. I always wanted to... Because, you know, I didn't really... I was never going to get United or anything, but... you know, I wanted to play for a team that was quite local to where I lived. And there was something about Sheffield Wednesday that I just quite liked. Joel Linton is better than Casemiro, says Harry O'Kane. You're talking out your arse. Would you sub Fred on, says Giancarlo. You can't make too many subs. You want to keep the momentum going here. You don't want to give Forrest the sniff. SN says you live in Sheffield but you support United. Nice one. I don't live in Sheffield. Most of this chat will live in different places to Manchester and support the channel. Tell me a bigot without telling me you're a bigot. It's like saying, it's like these people who on Twitter quote tweet you or do clips of you saying, this person doesn't represent me as a United fan. Tell me you're a bigot without telling me you're a bigot, because anybody who says this fan doesn't represent me basically thinks that they're perfect and that somebody else doesn't represent them. I'd never say those words. If you're a United fan, you're a United fan. You know, you might have a weird take about De Gea or something that I don't agree with, but it doesn't mean you're not a United fan. Weird. And the one that makes me laugh is that if you're not from Manchester, you can't support United. Yeah, people have been doing that for over 70 years, mate. And probably longer. I think it portrays a certain inner belief. I think we all know what we're on about here. People who have issues with people who don't support clubs where they're from, I think they probably have issues with other people as well. You know, quite deep-seated issues that they probably hide on their CV. Anyway, enough of that. Need a ball massage, says Rory. Shut it. We don't have any of that filth. Do you think De Jong could be the player to bring in as a midfielder? I think it's Darry. I think it's the player that Eric Ten Hag wants to bring in alongside Casemiro. Well, what do you want to make a fool of me for? They're more than insecure. Still half an hour to go here, and I feel like United are going to get the third goal here. Garnacho's on for Rashford. Nice for Rashford to get a break. I'll tell you what I like about Garnacho is I feel that he's no longer a young player who's a bit raw. I think with every minute he's becoming more mature. And that's what you see with development. I've seen it with Giggs, I've seen it with Beckham. You know, you've seen it with a lot of younger players, Gary Neville. They come in as raw young players, and with every minute they become more mature until, you know, in no time at all, if they're getting those minutes, they become established senior players. We saw it at Rashford as well. He might want to put some longer studs on because he keeps slipping. Map says that Eriksen needs a rest. It's a 6 a.m. game. Watching from Australia, 6 a.m. games are a blessing, says Darcy. Oh, you prefer the 6 a.m. games? Yeah, I suppose if it's a 3 p.m. game, you've got to get up at like 2 in the morning, haven't you? I mean, that, you know what, I don't believe in better fans, but, you know, you think about United fans that follow the club home and away. Amazing support it is. It is. There's no doubt about that. But you've got these fans all around the world who, if United are playing at 8 o'clock at night, it might be 6 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. If United are playing, you know, midday or 4 o'clock on a Sunday, it might be midnight or something like that. And they'll watch it. They'll watch it all. That's support. It's different support, but it's still support. It's still dedication. Happy says, do you read non-donation messages? I read loads of non-donation messages, mate. And you know I do, because you can see the donations, and there isn't any at the moment, and I'm still interacting, so stop being a prat. Seriously, questions. Why don't United produce any prodigies anymore, says GJ. Well, prodigies are few and far between. It depends what you define as a prodigy. I mean, Marcus Rashford, at this moment in time, is one of the better players in Europe. He came from United. Mason Greenwood, I think, would have been a very, very good player. It's not United's fault that he's not playing, is it? So there's two. And now Garnacho could potentially be one. So I think United do pretty well, because nobody's got a right to produce top-class talent the way that we do. But we did have a few barren years, I accept. I mean, the class of 92 was just freakish, wasn't it? You had a world-class right-back, a world-class midfielder in Scholes, two world-class wingers in Beckham and Giggs, and then, you know, what I would describe as a very, very close to being world-class, but certainly top-class midfielder in Nicky Butt, and then, you know, Phil Neville. Mohammed says that, I'm sorry, international fans are a huge part of revenue. You Manchester lads alone are not the reason we can spend. Oh, Mohammed, 100%. Did none of them ever see Keane moaning at the players when he was captain, Mark? Those of us that did don't mind. It's the captain's job. Exactly, Mandy. Exactly. I mean, I think if there's one person on the pitch who can moan at people, it's Bruno. He's the captain. Here is Garnacho, far side. Keeps it in. Into Eriksen. Now, put the cross in. Weghorst. Oh, should he have done better there? That's 3 chances you've had today. 3 chances for Weghorst. Not saying he should have scored this one. I'm counting the chances because I'm liking it. Heem says, what's your opinion on Gary Neville placing as second? I think Gary's quite clever, really. I think he's almost inadvertently putting unfair pressure on Ten Hag because he didn't pick him. Second place is not achievable for Man United, and if we get it, it would be remarkable. Top 4 is our aim. Talking about second place ahead of Man City or Arsenal is unnecessary pressure, and I'd wonder what the motive. I would wonder what the motive is behind that. Any Man United fan should be ecstatic with what we're doing from where we've come, and how much backing he's getting in January. We shouldn't be talking about second place. Get a third and pull Eriksen, says Chris. Hilal says he'd rest Bruno and Eriksen. Well, in 5 minutes' time, we'll be doing the player ratings. Jason says, on Monday I woke up at 3:30, watched the game and went to work. Then did my calls back to the UK team from 9:30 till 11. A 20-hour day, and it was worth it, says Jason. Dedication. Kay Slater says, United haven't produced a top-class player that other clubs want in 10 years. I've already answered that question. Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood. Both those players would have been wanted by top clubs. Circumstances weren't United's fault. The people who produced those young players did their job. Who do you think's our best captain ever, says Christian? Well, the logical choice is Brian Robson, but in my lifetime it's Roy Keane. I loved Roy Keane. I think he epitomises everything I would want in a captain. And as much as he's a knobhead, you know, John Terry was a good captain as a footballer. He was a very good captain. But I always say this, it's not about... United have got a corner here, let's wait and see what happens. For me, footballers are not about what they're like off the pitch. If you find a footballer off the pitch like Ben Foster, who's a top guy, you've done really well. Most of them live in a bubble most of their life. They become what their surroundings are, and they become knobheads. I don't really care what Roy Keane's like off the pitch. He's still a legend as a footballer, and that delivered me many happy memories. We know there are some footballers for Manchester United, ex-players who are complete and utter knobheads. It's been proven, but it doesn't mean that they're not legends of the club. And that's my point with John Terry. Look, probably not a very desirable person to many, but he was a very good captain. I would love a John Terry playing for Man United now as a footballer. Thanks for shouting out the international fans. Always got up all hours for games, even as a kid. Warm water toothbrushing now, says Peter. Welcome to the club. If I were Ten Hag, I'd pull off Anthony, says Axel. I don't think he's that kind of guy. You think we'll sell Maguire or Lindelof, says Andre. I think one of them's got to go in this summer. Refresh, refresh, refresh. Would you take Morgan Gibbs at United, says Matt Haynes? No, I think we can do better than that. I'm going to take him now until the end of the season. Thought you were going to say when you meet a top lad like Foster, they aren't very good on the pitch, Thomas. You think we'll sell Maguire or Lindelof? Yeah, I think... I don't know about Lindelof's situation, but I think Maguire needs to leave United because I don't think he suits where we're heading as a style of footballer, and he needs to play football at 30 if he wants to go to the Euros. Good tackle, Martinez. Player's gone down. Don't think there was anything sinister in it. Referee plays on. Half glad we're out of the title race, so the focus is top four and a piece of silverware. Taste of success, says Luke. And I think Eriksen's been different class second half, says Robert McCormack. And Raz says, it seems to be inevitable about United when they bid to lower table teams now. That is progress, says Raz. And it's 8 a.m. here. That makes me special. What happened to the Hair Boys, says Steve Webster. Couple of subs for United. Palestri! It's Palestri time. Good. He's going to get 20 minutes here. This is good news. Finally, Palestri is coming on ahead of Alanga. So Anthony comes off and Eriksen comes off. That will please a lot of people. That'll please a lot of people that he's coming off. Eriksen, give him a break. Thanks to everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We've got player ratings. They'll be coming out very soon, where you can mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Forest going to make a sub. Gibbs White's going off. Jim Bob says, looking forward to the second leg. Come on, United. Mad Bro says, an article was released saying that Barcelona considered Ten Hag before Xavi. Well, you know, why wouldn't they? We didn't pluck Ten Hag from college. He had a CV at Ajax that, you know, as I always said this about Ten Hag, if we missed out on Ten Hag, I always said, I'm excited for Palestri, says Vaz. If we missed out on Ten Hag, you are looking at a manager that if Klopp left Liverpool, they would interview him. If Pep left Man City, they would interview him. I think he fits that profile. In my opinion. He does. Newcastle v Man United, just like the 90s again, says Freddie. Mark, have a stretch, says Oliver. Foreign fans also rejoice when Man United win and gets devastated when we lose. We share the same happiness and pain, and that's what makes us fans, says Rimbic. Here's Forest on the attack. They've not really done anything second half. So it'd be disappointed if they actually were able to come out of this half halving the score. Not going to do it with crosses like that. Cole says, thoughts on Lindelof as a right winger? Have you ever tried butter chicken? I have. I mean, it's basically like chicken tikka masala, but it's nice. Jack says, imagine the world if United had got hold of Pochettino. And Hayder says, Ten Hag's finally realised that Elanga's no good. Sidan says, I'm at work and Mark Goldbridge gives me updates and my time goes by fast. Thank you from New York. Lovely place. Can't wait to visit. Thanks for the message. I'll love it if we beat them. Desert says, my first season coaching youth under 12 here in the States. Wish the Blue Jays good luck. We made it to the final this Saturday. Good luck, mate. Good luck to the Blue Jays. Hope you do well. And thoughts on Ivan Ferguson? A very exciting player. Very, very pleased for the Brighton. And here we go. Here's Garnacho. Bit of space. Oh, gets stuck under his feet. But and he's lost it there. A few changes for United now, though. I mean, we've got to be a little bit careful. You know, Garnacho's on, Palestri's on, Fred's on. You lose Rashford, you lose Eriksen, you lose Anthony. You know, can't concede in the last 15. The second half's flown by, though. Really has. Player ratings are out. I'll drop the link in the chat for you. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. I'm doing Man City versus Arsenal as a watch-along on Friday night. Looking forward to that. Not because I think they'll pick their strongest teams, but basically it's a little bit of a rehearsal for that Premier League battle in mid-February. And yeah, it's a bit of a chance to throw a couple of punches, isn't it? And you know, get in there early. Elanga was good for us most of last season. I'm worried Garnacho might turn out the same. Good for a season and drops off, says Zeus. Well, that's just about management. That's about development. That's about coaching. That's about, you know, making sure that you are, you know, monitoring and improving your young players all the time. And I do think that Erik Ten Hag will be very good at that. In my humble. Player. I'm going to whack it in the live chat as well. Oh, God. Can't spell. Player ratings. Vote here. Links in the chat. It's in the live chat now. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I've pinned that in the live chat. Live in Notts, but following United since 1975, and I'm loving the game, says Tracy. Good to hear. Why is there 2 legs? It's the League Cup, says Million. Look, I don't know why. Weghorst or Maguire at centre-back, says Tom. On a serious note, I don't know why, in a World Cup year, where footballers are playing ridiculous amounts of money, they are playing ridiculous amounts of money, when footballers are playing ridiculous amounts of games, and everybody knows more games means more risk of injury, why this season are we doing 2 legs in the Carabao Cup semi-final? It does not make sense. And why in the FA Cup are they still doing bloody replays? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. Fred's just had a shot with his right foot. I'll guess. Take a guess what happened. Let's just say it didn't go in. Well, it might come across as a bit arrogant, but I think we're sort of approaching job done here. I know there's a second leg, but I think whatever happens next week, I wouldn't... Here's Palestri with a bit of time. Oh, I'll tell you what, that cross was good. That cross was good. Weghorst will like this from Palestri. Watch this. It's a lovely ball to Palestri. And look at that. He don't mess about. That was good. That was really good. No messing about. On his right foot. Whips the cross in. I'll tell you what, Weghorst, that was a bloody good cross, that was. I think he probably was a bit disappointed with himself. That was delightful from Palestri. We haven't really got many wingers who do that. No pissing about. Quick cross. Strikers love quick crosses as well. Defenders hate them. I like that. What's for tea? I had it ages ago. Chicken enchiladas. Lovely. Really nice, actually. Yeah, do your player ratings. Links in the chat, and it's also pinned in the live chat. What do you think about Alvarez from Ajax, says Tom? He's very welcome at Man United. Like Christian Duffy says, we should get a CDM now so we can learn from Casemiro. And when Casemiro falls off a bit, we can have a talented CDM. Love it. It's a shame we haven't got someone in the youth coming through. Which CDM would you sign in the summer, says Zane? I like Casido, but have you seen what Brighton won? 100 million. Ridiculous. Ahmad says Palestri's better than Anthony. And Daniel says, when you stand up to stretch, it sounds like you're doing ASMR in my ear. Ahmad, prediction for next season. Cheers, mate. Time for a stretch. You know why it is, Daniel? Because I've got a couple of mics that I change for different streams. So I sometimes have the mic that's close down here. And at the moment, I've got my mic that's up here. So when I stand up, I get closer to the mic. Yeah? 2-0, Manchester United. Yeah. We progress. We rotate. Yeah. Reading. Paul Ince. Yeah. Is Vlahovic a player we should be looking at, says Zeus? I think he is a player that we'll be considering. You know, if you're looking for a striker, you've got to consider. Luke says, nice trousers. Did you and Rupert the Bear shop in the same store? They're not trousers, they're pyjamas. They're pyjama bottoms. I had a bath before the show and I was like, I'm not putting clothes back on to do a stream. I mean, I wasn't going to do it naked, but you know what I mean? I'm like, all I'm doing is going downstairs to do a stream and then probably going to go back to bed. So, I mean, I haven't been in bed before it, but remember when we could have signed Casido for 7 million? Just another example of our owners being a joke, says Jordan. Yeah, but the problem is, if Casido had come to us then, it's like Bellingham coming to us. They wouldn't be the player they are because we wouldn't have developed them. Look at what happened with Ahmad. He's had to go to Sunderland to develop. I'm glad we didn't get Casido, and I'm glad we didn't get Bellingham because they wouldn't be the players they are now. We wouldn't develop them. You can't just buy a player of that age and they turn into the player they are now. You've got to be coached well. You've got to be developed. Why is Paul Ince not on the show anymore, says Kevin? Because he manages Reading. You know, he can't be the same Paul Ince he was on here managing Reading, can he? Imagine all the stuff he could have said this year like he did last year. And then we play him on Saturday and he gets battered. You look all right, Pratt. Trevor says, Goldbridge, your carbon footprint is huge. What, because I have a bath? You don't know what to do with the water, though. Wash the pots with it. What's your view on McKenna's job at Ipswich? Doing well. Just wasn't good enough for Man United at that point. Neither was Carrick. They're doing it the right way now. They're learning their job in the lower leagues. They're good coaches, but they never should have been coaching United at that level of their career. Tillemans would transfer this group, says Corey. What's Unai Emery doing here, says A. I didn't see him. Would you love to see Garnacho and Ahmed next season, says Scope? I'd love to see Garnacho, Palestri and all of them. Palestri's just giving up a free kick here. Well, people will say, you know, he's given a free kick, but he's not given up. I don't think it's a yellow card, to be honest. I mean, look, sometimes a yellow card and a foul is a good thing. I think that just shows tenacity and work rate. I don't think Ten Hag will be frustrated with him there. Goldbridge sells his bathwater. God, that's always weird. It's like, I remember being at work and we had this case where somebody was selling their worn tights. It doesn't surprise me. There'd be a market for anything, wouldn't there? Imagine that. Goldbridge worn pants. Selling them for like 50 quid. You'd have to be a right freak. And how do you know if it's authentic bathwater? Not that I'd want bathwater off anybody, but imagine if you weren't getting their bathwater. Here he comes, here's Alanga. Smiling away, coming on for Weghorst. Bit of a mean question, but if we're to assemble a team from Man United squad that wasn't part of the ideal starting 11, where would they finish? The Zero Connection. What? The worst 11 you can pick from our squad? Weghorst man of the match for me, says Robert McCormack. Don't forget to do your player ratings. The link's in the video description for that. I think the worst United 11 that you could line up from our squad, probably mid-table. You know, I'm not going to go to town and say that people like Lindelof, Maguire, McTominay, they could get us mid-table. Oh, it's basically the team from last year, isn't it? Bar one or two. I think people go overboard with how bad some of our bad players actually are. You know, they still play for Man United. They're still internationals. Good play by Lindelof. I think Lindelof's had a good second half. Much better from Lindelof in the second half. Brim full of Asher on a 45. Brim full of Asher on a 45. Brim full of Asher on a 45. Well, 2-0. I predicted 2-0. I've played the game. I predicted 2-0. So it was 2-0 at half time. It's still 2-0 now. It's still the right prediction. Unless we score again. I'd be very disappointed if Forest got a goal because I don't think it justifies it. Sangari, in my opinion, is still a good option. Yes, Zane. The thing about Sangari is if he's the right option, Ten Hag will know because obviously he managed in that league and PSV were their main rivals last year. Is it me or does it look like Alanga has his eyebrows done, says Darry. He may well have his eyebrows done. He's a young man with a lot of money to spend playing for Man United. If he wants to have his eyebrows done, let him do it. Favourite away kit this season, says Olympic. I'll tell you what, if I'm absolutely honest, I do like the United white kit. But it's Palestri nearly. I do like the United white kit, but for me, Arsenal's black kit is very nice. I hate to say it. I know it's more credit for Arsenal. I do like the United white kit, but the Arsenal black kit's very nice. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We were very close to 566k. I think we're about 10 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with the United Stand community. We're live. Here's Palestri. Good tackle. We're live every morning at 10, every evening at 5, 4, 3, 2. It's 3-0. It's Bruno. It's Bruno. It's Bruno. It's 3-0. We're into the final. Bruno has put us there. And Manchester United are in cruise control. Simple as that. We're going to Wembley. It's done and dusted. It's all over. I've jinxed it. I've jinxed my own score prediction. It's 3-0 to Manchester United. It's good night, Nottingham Forest. You've been done in your own backyard. And it's comfortable for United. And it means that second leg and Reading, we can just take the foot off the glass. And you know what? I think the end justifies the means, really. Job done. It was the game I was looking forward to the most. And it's been a very, very professional job by Manchester United. And I'm very glad that Bruno scored as well because he was getting a bit of stick. Nice picture of Lingard there looking a bit pissed off. Fans are trying to get on the pitch here. Stewards are being pushed. It's just excitement. But it's been comfortable. I was just going to say there, look at the stats. I was a little bit worried in the second half that the stats might drop off. We've actually maintained around 70% possession. We've had more shots on target. And we've clearly, I think the concern before the game was that we'd have to win the game in the first half because the second half we'd drop off. We've been the better team in the second half more than we were in the first half. We have been the better, you know, we've dominated just as much in the second half. We've looked more dangerous than them in the second half. And our energy levels have been good. No fatigue tonight, says Jan. Exactly. And that's good to see. Love the content, Mark. I'm enjoying my birthday evening watching United Standing United. Happy birthday, pal. Full youth team for the 92nd leg. Give them a test. No, you can't be too... You can't pick the youth team, Mum Spaghetti, because they could still get back. But what you can do is you can play Magaluf. You can play McFred. Alanga assist, says Tom. And am I the only one who feels sorry for Lingard, says Slow Sports News? Might be. I don't know. I'm quite indifferent to Lingard. You've got to believe in yourself as a professional athlete. But I was listening to some of what he said last week, and it was almost as if he feels like he should have got game time. I don't think he was ever good enough, really. I think the club needed to move on, and he needed to move on. Lots of praise for Alanga in the chat. Gary Neville's given Martinez man of the match. Good to see pundits finally thinking outside the box. Martinez, man of the match. Not sure who I'd go for man of the match, actually. I mean, I think Casemiro's been good again. I thought Weghorst had a very good game. And yeah, Martinez has played well across the 90 minutes and shown leadership as well. Lindelof's had a good second half. So I'd be interested to see what you think about the player ratings. Get your votes in. Here's Palestri, keepers off his line. Has this been the most complete performance by United over the last 10 or so games? Says Stephen Rossi. It's been a good performance from United, you know. It has been a good performance. I like the way that we've maintained the 70% possession. I think that's for me one of the key things. Give me some sneak. Lee says, can you shout out my girlfriend Chanel? Shout out to Chanel. Mark, looking out for those tickets, tour London. So Sports News. Yeah, if you want to see us on tour and you're a member, links on the community tab for the members. It's out on public demand on Friday, for public consumption on Friday. We're in Dublin, London and Manchester. Really looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll see some of you there. But if you're a member and you want to get tickets before anyone else, get on the community tab. Final whistle. Manchester United win 3-0. 3-0 to Manchester United. We're definitely going to Wembley. It's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Manchester United, fantastic result. Player ratings, link in the video description and in the chat. Don't forget Manscaped as well. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products. And I tell you what, Manchester United have trimmed Nottingham Forest's final hopes. They're in the final. 1 foot in the final. I'd say 2. I will see you on the match reaction for player ratings and reaction to this game. I'll speak to you in a couple of minutes. We're going to Wembley. We're going to Wembley.